Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk. And if you missed it earlier today, Team USA is out when it comes to the Olympics men's hockey quarterfinal. I don't even know where Slovakia is. I'm not even going to lie, but they defeated Team USA earlier today, which means that they will be leaving without a medal for the third straight Olympics. The last time Team USA even medaled was back in 2010 in Vancouver. The last time they won a gold medal, you know, there's a movie about it. It's called The Miracle on Ice. Vanderbilt tonight, it is their opportunity to upset a top 5 team as they are traveling to Auburn to take on the number 2 Tigers. Tip-off is going to be at 8 o'clock Central on SEC Network. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Chandler will come across the line. He'll just dribble the clock out, and now Tennessee is going to savor the last 10 seconds of this big win over the Kentucky Wildcats. Final score from Thompson Bowling Arena: Tennessee 76 and Kentucky 63.
Welcome back, 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport. There's producer Joe Hunk. What up, Hunk?
How's it going?
I think we should already go ahead and introduce this guy, Don. What do you think?
I mean, you can't hold him down long, I'm sure.
You think he's got anything to say
Nah.
today? This guy right here? His name is Roaring Slay.
I'm in the building. Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready. I'm in the building. Car ain't got no rules.
Look at that smirk.
Best believe I'm in the building.
Oh my God.
Hey, hold up, Hunk. Real quick, Hunk. I got an announcement.
Oh, I mean, that was like a kill it hold up?
Yeah, that wasn't killing me softly. That was just run right into the wall at 100 miles an hour.
I just need
Like Kentucky last night.
I need Hunk to hold on for a second. Y'all give me this
Here
in
we
about
go.
15, 20 seconds. Listen, man. First and foremost, before we get into this, let me explain to all of the fans, SEC fans, any kind, Big Ten, Tennessee fans, any kind of fans. Listen, I will not go back and forth with ignorance, and put myself in a situation where you would have to do something to me or I'm going to have to do something to you. I would just rather ignore it, you know what I'm saying, and keep having fun and listen, have a great moment. And that's what I like to do. Everything's fun with me. You understand? I'm a trash talker. Trash talking was born right here in Cashville to me, and that's where I reside. And that's what I'm going to always have. So
you're saying that some people go personal with it.
yeah.
And it doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah, and I'm saying this to even
Totally
Tennessee
agree.
fans that will comment on my post and be like, "Yeah, Slay, tell them they need to do such and such to their mama or something like." I'm like, "Hey, no, we don't. No, we don't. Like, no, we don't.
All the
Let's leave
mamas are
mamas out of
okay.
this.
Everybody cool. Like,
We love
let's have a good
mamas.
time, but let's talk about
It's
each
not
other's fan
anybody's
base.
mama's fault.
Yeah, like so. I say all that to say, listen, the entertainment ain't gonna stop, and my smiling ain't gonna stop, and the fun ain't gonna stop. So, let the people know.
Look at Shay. Look at Shay.
Where your cats at? Hackensack, where your cats at? They is in the kennel.
Are you kidding?
Either in the kennel or they are in the dog pound where Smoke is. And he put them down. Do you hear me? Listen, boy. Whoa! I'll break this little mic.
Yeah, you will. Watch out. I've done it before.
Okay, I
It'll
want to break
happen
it.
easy.
Listen, I told y'all what was going to happen. I told y'all. Rest in peace, Pimp C. He told you, when I get close enough to you, you're going to smell my cologne. And a fight come with that, Jack. We trying to play a regular basketball game.
What does that even mean?
I'm going to tell you what it means, Babs.
Okay.
We came in the middle of the court at the jump ball. We had our boxing gloves on. And we was like old school. Matter of fact, we was like this. We was like Jack Dempsey.
Just like this. We didn't even want to fight like Ali and them. We wanted to fight like this, the old school. Just like this right here.
With a bicep extended, fist pointed north.
All uppercuts. Boom, boom, boom. These hurt. So what happened was, Forky fell out the ring. We went to go pick him up. And a little bitty man with a little bitty man complex, Forky and Sucky, strength coach, a grown man. When Santi was running over to pick his teammate up, ready to extend his hand, the littlest guy in the gym stepped up and bumped his chest at Santi. And Santi said, whoa. So another little guy.
Santi got pushed by like 5 dudes in that whole thing. Like he was like a pinball.
That's right.
It started like completely nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, until the
He was just trying to pick his friend up.
coach.
But then the strict coach put his little chest out, bucked it up. So Zakai, the Mighty Mouse himself, like Popeye, ate his spinach, came to his teammates' rescue, and then pushed the little man. And then the little man, for Kasaki, put his chest back on him. The grown man on a kid, put his chest back on him, and then the melee started. It was a scrum, not really a melee, a scrum. I was involved in one of them up there. Tony Harris ran off the bench, but that ain't neither here nor there. And that right there is when we
top
did
10
this.
most hated SEC
We
players.
pulled our gloves off. Boom. Get that glove out of here. Boom. Get that glove out of here. And we didn't go back to our corner. We just looked at him and we bit our tape off. I'm about to take off.
Like Rocky against Hulk Hogan in Rocky 3.
Yeah.
He bit his gloves off.
Mayor.
That's right, Thunder Lips.
That's right.
Yeah. We went bare knuckle. Y'all want to get in the ring and fight bare knuckle? No rules. Bring all the champs. They had Jim Ross in here earlier on J. Martin Ramon.
Yes, they did.
Y'all want the belt? Come take the belt. A fight come with that, Jack. Kentucky, eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Let's start the show.
Welcome back to 3HL. Eat it.
That was
right.
the last thing I expected to hear from his rant.
By the way,
Eat it.
here's a little.
That's right.
Let me fill in some gaps on that little fight.
Oh,
Here
and now here's the
Here
belt.
comes Shafe. He's
And
got
now
the belt.
belt's
You
here.
don't.
the belt.
You froze your
You
camera,
don't.
Slay.
That was a game. No. We come from way down with this right here. You hear me? You want to fight, Jack? You just show up on Rocket Top, and we got you, Kentucky. Next time, bring barbecue sauce, because we want it rotisserie. On that kitty cat. Now get. I said get.
Does it taste like
The
chicken?
champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Shafe just placed the belt on Slay. I think is he frozen?
I fixed it. I fixed it.
Who froze me?
You froze you.
Kentucky froze me. Listen, you trying to fight us on the basketball court, now you want to fight us in the cyber world. Get out of there. We win that too. Manager Shafe is in the building.
Oh my gosh!
Manager shit.
And now Will Bowling is
Now
in.
Will's in here.
We was
Everybody,
climbing under.
Red Beard's
Don't you
about
put
to
no
walk
shackles
in
on me.
here, too.
Will, get from under the table. Don't put no shackles. They can't stop me. Don't put no shackles on me.
He's frozen again.
Who keep freezing me?
He's frozen again.
Stop freezing me. Where's Mr. Freeze?
The camera can't keep up with you right now.
Because I'm a wild man. And I told him. Bab said, you always eat crow when it goes the other team's way.
Yeah, you do.
And I do.
You
But
do.
today, y'all mine today. That's right. Y'all are mine today. You hear me?
You know what's funny about
There
this
is
to me?
zero-
I just spent an hour and a half with this guy and saw none of this.
No,
I'm
because
waiting.
he
None of
was
it.
like waiting.
I've been waiting, boy.
He was waiting until the green light came on.
Who I sound like? Who I sound like?
On a
Ooh.
side note, that is a legit belt. It has like Swarovski crystal rhinestones on it and everything. J. Martin Ramon's belt.
Babs is here. What? Champ is here. What don't you get, Babs? You're looking at the champ. You thought I was going to come in with the belt I spanked them with last night? I came in with the champ belt.
By the way,
All I'm going to say is that belt is going to look real good on my shoulder on February 26th.
Babs, let me have my day first before we get to that. You hear me?
she's already calling the Auburn
I
victory.
don't know what.
Tennessee's won 15 straight home games
When
going
is
back
that,
to
next
last
Saturday?
year.
That's next Saturday.
It is.
yeah,
I'm
next
actually
Saturday.
out of town too, so I'm going to have to,
Babs,
figure out the time zone and
you leave me
text
alone.
you.
Leave me alone right now. Let me have my day. Kentucky fans, we want y'all on the line, though. Kentucky, I want you on the line. I want you calling in, apologizing. And to all them Kentucky fans that's talking about that ain't no big game, you are a lie. A rivalry game versus Vandy, versus Florida, versus Kentucky or Alabama is a big game. I don't care what the ranking is. And that's all I got to say about that, brother.
Headphones gone. Mike flipped around. Ramon's mic. I mean, that's Ramon's mic, too. He's got a problem. He's screaming in the hall. We got 5 radio stations in this building.
Yeah.
Slay's currently on all of them.
This is like, there's going to be like the mass email that goes out. Please disregard the crazy guy with the belt. Tennessee beat Kentucky.
Oh, man. We get to some backstory on all that, but we got plenty of time.
On a serious note, I mean, they did dominate.
They dominated.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Dominated.
in Slay's behavior's defense, it was a solid spanking.
C. Hartley on Twitter. Love the show, but this might be my favorite ever in 5 minutes. Lance, taking Kentucky basketball all the way to Skullbone, Tennessee, home of the bare-knuckle fighting lore. Larry, love some Ron Slay. That was good.
Good gosh.
Gerald
Stop
McGrath.
it, and I'm a Vol.
Who might be the only person I know that can somewhat come close to matching Slay's energy from time to time, said, LOL, love it, exclamation point. Woo. All right, we'll get back into Tennessee, Kentucky when we come back. By the way, if you're on hold, number one, let's do this. Jason in Nashville. Jason, what's up?
Hey, guys. Hey, mate, is everything all right up in there? Because Ron is going crazy.
I don't know, man. Luke Bryan's trying to sing a song on 103.3 and Slay screaming on that radio station.
They're trying to do political talk down the hall and Slay screaming.
Oh, my gosh. Man, the first song that came to my head was, someone please call 911. I'm like, oh, exactly. I can tell he was the poor code. But, hey, cool. Y'all have a good one. God bless y'all, man. Have a good one. Love the show. Bye-bye, guys.
See ya.
Chris on Twitter, no one can ever question the heart and passion of Ron Slay 35.
That's true.
Let's get it.
Gary, this is the greatest 3HO intro in the history of the whole damn show.
Let's get it.
Randy and Mount Juliet, real quick. Randy, what's up?
Hey, guys. Team, how are you guys doing?
Oh, we're good, bro.
I want to say, like, it's like, all I've done is think about this game last night. I can't quit thinking about it. I mean, it was so electric. It's like just
Woogie.
Captivating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it, from the tip, I couldn't. I don't know. I can't explain it. It just was so fan-freaking-tastic for UT fan. But just awesome from top to bottom. What do you guys think? Like a team that obviously got whipped us, at Rupp. What turns it around and makes it the total other direction? What do you think the main reason for how that happens?
Great question.
It is.
Randy, I'm going to write that down, and thank you for the call.
Yeah,
I'm going to write that down, and we'll get back to that.
I got an answer for that.
At 3:45, why the dramatic shift? And
because we hit a little bit yesterday when I said, Slay, why and how are they going to be able to turn it around? Because it was kind of a debacle in Rupp.
Yep, and that goes along with a topic that I was going to hit y'all with.
It was a debacle for Kentucky last night. Like, it really was a dominating performance.
And that feeds right into a topic I was going to bring up to you guys, the beauty of basketball, which we'll do at 3:45. When we come back, Coach Mack offers his take on the Super Bowl. Is Cincinnati building something, or did they just get hot? One of the issues we'll talk about with Coach Mack, and then right back into Tennessee, Kentucky. This is 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Listen, I bet 75% of my pot on Tennessee last night at action247.com. I felt that strongly about it. And the reason why I told you that is because everybody was trying to figure out why was Tennessee favored coming off that blow-off loss against Kentucky. You can find weird lines like that, weird spreads like that in college basketball, the NBA and NHL right now. Action247.com. Bet local, the only local legal sports book in the state. The Grizz are rocking the hardwood. It's time for you to start winning too with Tennessee's homegrown sports book. Action 24/7, made by Tennesseans for Tennesseans. Make your first deposit today using code Doherty. That's my last name. And Action will double your money up to $800. Download the app or visit action247.com to get started. College basketball in full swing. We move on to the weekend games if you like a certain color, orange, with that team playing on the road in Arkansas over the weekend. You can start thinking about that. Action247.com. Download the apps, get signed up, and get it done now. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line. 1-800-889-9789.
What up, people? The way I ended this by telling you, go get a car. But before that, it's a place that I got to explain to you where you're going to go get it. 2430 Gallatin Pike North. That's Music City Autoplex, people. Over 15 million in used vehicles on the ground in Music City Autoplex. The selection is huge, and that's a big deal right now because when you go to other dealerships, you don't really have that selection that you want. You know, they may have to try to go order it or say, can we go to another lot? That's not what you got to do at Music City Autoplex. I know that because I went there. I found on my own handheld device exactly what I was looking for. I went to MusicCityAutoplex.com and got the truck that I was looking for, not once but twice. And listen, you can listen to Stanley if you don't believe me. The experience I had was grade A presidential service. You hear that? That ain't got nothing to do with politics. That's just talking about the service. Grade A presidential service. If you need a car, do not hesitate to show up. Thank you guys for all that you do. Listen, they can help you and you can walk away feeling the same exact way when you go to Music City Autoplex. Now I'll end it. Go get your car.
Woo! 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
And I love Ramon.
I've never been a part of an intro like that.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the party.
Slade took that yelling outside. I just went outside during the break. Pamela Furr from 99.7 WTN came down the hall. She was like, hey, man.
What's going on?
Y'all know we just had active shooter training in here.
Oh, yeah.
People start
I
screaming.
didn't think about that.
It's true.
My bad, P-Fur.
That's exactly what I thought about. I was like, oh.
I told her.
didn't
I said, we were still on when he did that. And I said, we got 5 radio stations in this building. Slade's on all of them right now.
Hey, man, listen. If the active shooter came in right there, he would have been an Incredible Hulk. I would have took all of them. I would have ate them the way I was feeling.
How's Ramon's mic doing over there?
Oh, it's cool, man. You know what I mean? Can y'all hear me? Hey, mic check one. Hey, man. Hey, all I'm saying is, man, dude, I sat there and I tried to explain to y'all what was going to happen after a blowout. And we're going to get to that, man. Because
listen, a lot of games I just kind of watch and might have a beverage. Kentucky, Tennessee, I'm standing up the whole time and there's fist bumps.
It's different.
Involved.
It's like watching
It's a whole
Tennessee,
different
Florida
thing.
football.
Yeah.
Like you just in Alabama, Tennessee. Like you just in. It's something different, man. It's something different. And it's unexplainable.
Coach Mack always keeps his powder dry, even when we don't, especially when we don't. Coach Mack, what's up? How are you?
Hey guys, what's going on? Let me just. Hey Ron, I'm really busy right now, getting ready for the draft and the combine. I wasn't able to see the Kentucky Tennessee game. Tell me what happened in, will you?
Coach, what happened was let me tell you what happened, Coach. What happened was
Calling out the roof. That's what Coach Mack. The calling out the roof.
You know what? And
That's
Coach
what
Mack,
happened. That's what happened.
And this is what I was fearful of after this game before we get into the Super Bowl was people looking outside their doors and their windows when they heard screeching, high-pitched noises outside at night. I didn't want them to be alarmed because that wasn't nothing but the kitty cats running back down the interstate, Coach, trying to get back home. That's all it was.
Hey Ron, I remember. I mean, I've got a pretty good memory. Is that the last time that Tennessee and Kentucky played, and after Tennessee got run out of Rupp, you said, wait till they come to Knoxville. That's all I remember you saying.
I'm telling you, Coach. Hey, Coach, like you say, sometimes it ain't in the numbers. Sometimes you gotta talk by your gut. That's just a gut feeling, Coach. You know, we done been in enough battles to know, Coach. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% right. And you know, I know it didn't excite you very much, but I mean, sooner or later you'll appreciate that win.
I will somehow, some way.
Sooner or later. Oh, man, the Rams are appreciating that win. They're changing the Hollywood sign, all kinds of things going on in L.A. And you got to feel good for Aaron Donald and Matthew Stafford. There's so many good storylines with that Rams group.
Well, you know what, Brent, they earned it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they earned it. No matter what you think of them and no matter what you think of what they did, they earned it. You know, they put up a lot of money to get this done. I mean, I was involved clearly, and it has nothing to do with it, but it's got a lot to do with it, of everything they went through to move that team from St. Louis to L.A., which ended up, you know, costing them $790 million on top of everything else. But look, this is why they gave away all those draft picks and brought in and paid, you know, a lot of time. And in this game, we remember the game when the Titans went out there and beat them physically. But in this game, their high-paid dudes played like high-paid dudes, and that's what has to happen. I mean, it was a close ball game. Cincinnati really played no different than they played here. You know, when they scored one more point. I mean, it was a close ball game. But in the moment, the guys that you paid, the big-time players, they've got to play big in these moments, and they did for the Rams, and they did not, you know, for the Bengals. And when we talked about this game before it ever happened, you guys asked me at the end of our segment, who do I think will win? I said the Rams will win because they've got better people, and their better people played better, bottom line.
Yeah. Coach Mack with us. Let's talk about what Raheem Morris did. I think he did a math equation at halftime and thought, you know what, if I send 5 at them, they can't win every one-on-one matchup. They can't double and triple team Aaron Donald. In the last 5 drives, Joe Burrow coached 6 of 11, 59 yards, sacked 4 times. I just thought it was an impressive adjustment, and that defense just kind of took over.
Well, here's here's the thing, Brent and Dawn and Ron and all of our listeners, is the Rams 4-man rush was not as good as the Titans 4-man rush against Cincinnati, correct?
Yes.
But what Raheem did, and they were neutralized. They neutralized Aaron Donald and that rush in the first half because they were only bringing 4. And when you bring 4 and you go 5-man protection, you can turn the line. They were turning the line to Aaron Donald every time, getting the ball out quick, and the other people on the edge, Von Miller wasn't winning his one-on-ones. They were getting it turned. And so you're exactly right. And it happened before halftime. If you'll remember, they had that one linebacker blitz early. They brought a B-gap blitz. And all of a sudden, he ran over. Remember, he ran over the back. He ran over Joe Mixon to get to the quarterback. You remember that one?
Yep.
And so with that one, bringing 5 people, then what he did, the adjustment that he made, he still brought 5, but he started over-shifting the line, overloading blitzes. And then the thing that they did in the second half, guys, that you saw the Titans do throughout the ball game against Cincinnati was they ran games against that offensive line. That offensive line is decent if you just rush straight up on them. But if you start running games, they're not good enough. They're not good enough as a unit to be able to do it. And then when you overload it and you make them slide and you run that TE game away from the slide, you're going to hit that quarterback right in the face a lot. And so that's what he did.
Coach Mack with us, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Coach, Ron Slay asked a question yesterday, and I thought it was a good one. Because I said, is Cincinnati building something? Because they have the quarterback on the rookie deal, they have the wide receiver on a rookie deal, which frees up a lot of money to go build things. Or did they simply just get hot, Coach?
Well, first of all, they did get hot, right? They got hot, but they got hot at the right time. And you're right. I mean, they've got let's talk about building. They've got a building block, and they've got the number 1 pick in the draft in the quarterback. They got the number 3 pick in the draft in a wide receiver. They were 4-12 going into last year's draft, which gave them a chance to get higher picks. Yeah. They've been bad for a long time, right? And so they've had high picks for 7 years plus there. I'm talking about top 15 picks, okay? So what they have done is they've got a quarterback in there now. If the true building aspect of it, guys, I think will come in, how are they going to fix that offensive front, right? That's what they have to do. They have $75 million right now, give or take, if you believe what you see on Spot Track. They have $75 million, in their salary cap as far as carryover. And so how they're building, to me, will come with how do they fix the offensive line, and then they still need help in the secondary, especially on the edges. I think we can agree with that too, right? Yeah. But what did they do? Did they get hot? Yes. Did they get a quarterback and a receiver, that were able, and they got hot at the right time, and they played good defense down the stretch too. You talk about adjustments. That adjustments that Honorimo made against Kansas City to get to the Super Bowl was really good football coaching, where he started rushing 3 and dropping 8 in a lot of different configurations to completely shut down Kansas City's offense in the second half. So are they building something? I think they have some blocks to build on, but it's going to be very critical to see what they do with the offensive line and also on the edges of their defense, because they're still not great at corner.
Coach Mack, let me ask you this. Staying with the Super Bowl, their theme anyway, when you take what you see in Cincinnati and you take what you see in looking at the Rams, how excited do you get thinking about what's ahead for the Titans, knowing when you talk about blocks that are in place, you got some blocks that are in place when you're talking about the Titans already?
Well, sure.
Because what big Aaron Donald did, I'm sorry, Coach Mack, what Aaron Donald did in that game, that's a block. And I think that when you're looking in the mirror at Jeff Simmons, you kind of got that.
Yeah, well, in Jeffrey Simmons, you've got a much younger guy, too, that's got a lot more years ahead of him. I mean, I was there in on that. I mean, I think I've told you guys the draft story on Aaron Donald, about how that went down when we were there in 2014. Okay? But
hit us again, for those that don't remember.
Tell me, Coach Mack. Well, tell us.
Well, first of all, we had the 13th pick, all right? And we had 2 first-round picks, and our second one was the 13th. And the book on Aaron Donald going in myself and Mike Waffle, who's a defensive line coach, who he and Jim Washburn are the two best I've ever been around in my life. When we first came in there, the Rams had been 15-65 over that time period. They were terrible. But they had Chris Long and they had Robert Quinn on the edges. Had nobody interiorly. Mm-hmm. So we went the first year we got there, and we went down to LSU and got Michael Brockers as the first-round pick. Big beast, really helped a lot. Needed a 3 technique. So you were looking for one. And so Mike Waffle, there was a guy named Bob Junko that I coached with at TCU. I've known for years. He called me before the draft and said, look, this guy we got playing here, Aaron Donald, I helped recruit him here. He's a great kid. He's one of the best workers I've ever been around in my life. Coach Mack, don't let him think that he's too short. Because that was the book on him, right? Yeah. Too short, not enough arm length, didn't play the run real well, was a jump around, move around guy. So Mike Waffle, and went to look at him, and then he and I sat and watched the tape, and he said, Mac, I'm in love with this guy. And so Jeff Fisher watched it and said, this dude's a player. Does it matter? Well, anyway, go to the 30 visit. Okay, the 30 visit day. You guys understand what the 30 visits are, right?
No, I don't.
You can bring 30 guys in prior to the draft to your facility for a day. Meet with your staff. Let everybody talk to them. Everybody, from your security guy all the way down to the person that runs the everybody talks to them just to get a feel for them as a person. All right. So if they come in on a 30 visit, and so. Mike Waffle, the defensive line coach, was going to show Aaron Donald around on 30 visit. All the rest of us, all the other high muckety mucks, we were in the draft room. We were going over the draft boards of the draft. And I can still remember that was Johnny Manziel's draft. That was the draft that Odell Beckham Jr. was in. Anyway, I can still remember to this day, we're all sitting in the draft room, with the general manager and with the CEO. And all the muckety mucks were in there, right? Mm-hmm. We're going over these guys because it's a week before the draft. Well, Aaron Donald's in for his 30 visit, and we're going to take a break, for an hour and a half to let Aaron Donald visit with the various people in that room that were decision makers. Well, we're sitting there looking. I still remember Johnny Manziel's profile picture was up on the board. That's who we were discussing. And all of a sudden, the door just slams open in the room, and Mike Waffle, the defensive line coach, comes in, and he says, look, I don't give a damn who you're talking about on all of these boards. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Here is the best player in this draft. This is Aaron Donald. He pulls Aaron Donald in the room. Well, Aaron Donald's going, man, what is going on?
Yeah.
And he said, I just want everybody to know this is the best player in the draft. End of story. Slams the door. He's gone. Okay. Wow. And we go, okay. All right. Well, the draft day when it goes down, all of a sudden, it starts to drop, and Aaron Donald's still sitting up there, and all the assistant coaches are in their offices. They're not in the draft room. I'm sitting in there in the draft room, and all of a sudden, when Odell Beckham Jr. is taken right before Aaron Donald, Jeff Fisher turns to me and goes, "Go get Waffle." And I go, all right. So I go to his office. I said, Waffle, need to see you in the draft room. Well, he's mad because he doesn't think we're going to take Aaron Donald. Yeah. He comes in there, and Jeff Fisher goes, Coach Waffle? And he hands him, you got the names of the players on those magnetic strips, their names and all that stuff. He hands it to Mike Waffle and say, go put him under the Rams. He's your next defensive tackle. End of story.
That's dope. I like that.
So based on that story, Coach, I would make the argument that you and Fishbone and Coach Waffle need Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
True.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Because we didn't coach him up good enough to get him there. But I'm telling you what, Aaron Donald came in there and did everything. I mean, he was a different dude, and he still is. I love Aaron Donald because, look, regardless of what you think, he doesn't say a word. He doesn't say a word hardly. But he's got that little man inside of him. I've been around a few of those guys in my career. Like, Joe Green worked for me for 8 years, right? Joe Green still got that little man inside of him that makes him Joe Green, that made him Joe Green. Aaron Donald's got that little man inside of him that makes him Aaron Donald. And when it's time to go, he goes. And as I said, all the accolades that he's gotten, he's earned. I was extremely, extremely happy for him. Yeah. I think there's 4 players left on that team that we drafted. Higbee, him, Rob Havenstein, the right tackle, and then Johnny Hecker. So I'm extremely happy for those guys. And there's a lot of good people in that organization. But if you want to talk about Aaron Donald, guys, and I've been around a lot of good ones, one of the best ones I've ever been around.
Man, so with that being said, Coach Mack, I feel like you're telling me keep your powder dry on Big Jeff, even though he's an amazing guy.
Look, Jeffrey Simmons, and Jeffrey Simmons has got a different story, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they're completely different, body build type. But if Jeffrey Simmons doesn't injure his knee in a pre-draft, in a pre-draft workout, he'd have been a top 5.
Yeah, we wouldn't
right?
even see him, huh?
No, well then, John Robinson and Amy Adams Strunk and Mike Vrabel were willing to take a chance on him and bring him in and wait for him to come through. And so he's just beginning his ascension. And it was the same way with Aaron Donald. It took him a little bit of while, to get into him. But, we had a pretty good group of 4-down rushers there with Chris Long, with Robert Quinn, with Michael Brockers, and then with Aaron Donald as a 3 technique. It takes you a little while to get going, but if they've got that little man inside of them, it's going to come out sooner or later.
I love that right there.
Story time with Coach Mack.
Yeah,
I love it.
You pulled the curtain back for us.
Thank you, Coach. Good to hear from you, my friend.
Guys, it's always a pleasure. And Ron, I would tell you to watch some more Tennessee basketball. You seem to like it a little bit.
Coach, I got that little man inside of me, Coach. When it comes
you do. You got it. Yeah.
What's that movie you keep referencing with?
Martin Short.
Yeah.
What's the name of the movie?
What about Twins?
No.
I was about to say,
He's in a spaceship.
Martin Short's not in Twins.
Oh.
Where he's in a spaceship flying around in the body.
Man.
That's like your hype man. You got a hype man inside your body.
I talk about this all the time.
Maybe it's Gerald McGrath that's flying around inside your body.
Inner Space?
Inner space.
Inner space.
Okay.
I think.
Good job.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Babs, you got to see this.
No, you really don't.
No, yes, you really do. No, you really do.
Out of all the movies you need to see, that's not one of
That's
them.
not one of them.
Why do I remember this movie so good,
I
though?
don't know, but you love it. All right, we dive back into Tennessee, Kentucky next. Ron Slay in here. And what did last night's game tell us about Tennessee? What did it tell us about Kentucky? And why the blowout shift? That was a question before Coach Matt came on. We'll address that next. Adam says Inner Space on YouTube. You can watch the show. Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll be right back. There you go.
Hey, Rocket, what's my mortgage rate? Rocket, when am I closing? Is anyone there? Rockets are really cool, but they don't speak mortgage. You need a home loan expert for that. Get pre-approved for your next mortgage at thehomeloanexpert.com.
And it makes you want to rip your hair out. That was me last year until I called Artisan Custom Closets. It actually happened right after Christmas last year when I had no place to put my Christmas decorations and they were just all over my garage, and so nobody could park inside. So went to artisancustomclosets.com. Talked to Danielle, who was my personal design consultant. She'll be your personal design consultant here in Nashville as well. She came out. She looked at everything. She measured everything. She personalized a space to fit my needs. Free consultation at my house, then gave me 3D plans, laid out all of my options, laid out all of the cost on each of those options. I said, okay, this is over my budget here. I want to add this here. Can we take this away so that I can still be within my budget? And Danielle did it all. Artisan Custom Closets makes it easy for you to say less to the mess. And then they installed it in less than 1 day. So professional, so beautiful. I've had it now over a year and I'm in love with it. You can make your home feel new and decluttered with organization from Artisan Custom Closets. Whether it's your garage, your closet, you want one of those show-stopping closets, they can do it. They can build you a home office from nothing. Laundry room, mudroom, pantry, you name it. Artisan Custom Closets can do it. Give them a call for your free in-home consultation, 615-800-2199. And here's the deal. ArtisanCustomClosets.com. If you tell them Dawn sent you month of February, 15% off. 15% off at ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Now, people, listen to me very carefully. Now, this past year has been tough for a lot of people, but between lost wages of overtime, job loss, and the holidays, a lot of people are struggling with bills and debt. Your home is your biggest asset, and that's why I'm here to talk to you about Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. Get the 5-minute loan approval only available at the HomeLoanExpert.com. Your home is your biggest asset, and with home equity so high right now, it is the perfect time to do a cash-out refi. They can lower your monthly rate and your monthly payment, give you cash to pay off debt, and have you skip a few mortgage payments. That's how you start 2022 in the right way with a little less worry. So if you want to be smart and you want to get a little money in your pocket, interest rates are still sitting in the low 2%, which means by refinancing your 30-year mortgage, the Home Loan Expert can save you hundreds of dollars a month. It's easy, man. Refi. It's easy. Refi. It's easy. Refi. Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. Get the 5-minute loan approval only available at the HomeLoanExpert.com.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Talking a little basketball in here. Ron Slay's a little excited.
Talking a little random Bob Ross, too.
Bob Ross.
One in with him, too.
Well,
like
we were
the
talking
artist, the old school artist.
The painter.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy Clouds.
Yes.
This guy.
Documentary's legit.
Well, then Brent started Googling him. And,
Yeah, he's been
hey,
married
did
3
you know
times.
this? Yeah.
He was a cigarette
What?
smoker and expected to die young. He died at 52.
He's ex-military
that's
as
young.
well.
Yeah, Air Force.
His
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, his last few years, because he was losing his hair because of I think it was chemo treatment or whatever.
Yeah.
The people that were doing the PBS documentaries or PBS specials made him wear a wig.
Oh, the Afro wig.
Yeah, the Afro wig, because that's what he was known
It was
for.
a wig?
Well, it was the last few years of his life.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
I don't even want to hear what happened.
Bob Ross. Well, it happened because we were talking about Jim Ross from this morning.
This morning, yeah.
Who was phenomenal. Go listen to the podcast. We had him on 3HL once, and I thought he was talking about, like, stand-up comedy, too. Like, this guy, Jim Ross does everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong about that, but I know that we've had him on. He's phenomenal. Great storyteller. He's a wrestling announcer, and they're in town for the event tonight at Municipal Auditorium.
Can I make an announcement?
First, I want to say Municipal Auditorium is one of Nashville's great treasures. Unlike the Parthenon, which I think you could just shoot it to the sun.
No, you can't do that, man.
There's nothing
I have
in it.
dreams
It's just,
about the Parthenon.
I know,
dog.
but it's just gigantic Athena in there. Who cares? Move on.
It's part of my
Have
dream.
you been in there?
Yeah.
Seen her?
Yeah, she's
like
huge.
all gold and huge.
She's gold now?
Yeah, she's gold.
Yeah.
He has dreams about Athena,
Yeah, she's all stoned when I have dreams about her.
like Medusa.
Don't she got a little thing on her head?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always in like this little Ghostbuster like scene, but my proton pack don't work. So I'm just running around.
But Municipal Auditorium, I love because when you're in there, it feels like
I don't
1984.
even know how to respond to that.
So it's weird, Babs.
Here's how you
I have it
respond.
like every 3 or 4 years.
This is what we're doing.
Okay.
Is that real Coke?
It sounded like a beer on the radio, didn't
Oh,
it?
sorry, I ruined it.
Way to ruin that.
It's a
for everybody
theater of the
that
mind,
watches on
Babs.
TV.
Sorry.
Except for on Zone TV. What's up, y'all?
Hey, listen, no.
You got another announcement? This is
Yeah,
announcement number 2.
Yeah, that's a cool one right here.
Breaking sports news
that
on
this
104.5 The Zone.
Sounded right.
Hey, I just want to throw this out there. Listen, to my Kentucky brethrens and sisters, man. I love y'all. You know that. Like, I love y'all.
Especially Miss Johnson, who called and ripped you after
Miss
Kentucky
Johnson,
won by 30.
My little sister Steph, my OG Mercer. Trying to think of what Coop, Camille's dad. I train his daughter, little mentee. Nancy, just give Coop a hard time. You can handle that for me. But for everybody else out there, Roger on the chat. I think her name was Sydney. No, Sarah Kate. Listen, man, the number 615-737-1045. I'm telling you right now, like, I got up early to get that kitty cat out of the boom boom room. The door's unlocked. I put them on the grill, cooked them up, rotisserie, put a little barbecue sauce on.
Slay.
What? That's too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tastes like chicken.
Oh,
Stop it.
okay.
Punch.
I'm sorry. Let me take that back. What I'm telling
And
you
I don't
is,
even like cats.
I know you don't. So this is what I did do. All the cats that I found on the street, I sent them Buck's way, and they're now at Buck's house. So if you're looking
and that's
for your
punishment
cats,
enough.
yeah, if you're looking for
They're
your
waiting for the
cats,
SEC tournament over there.
yeah, just go to Buck's house. They're at Buck's house. Call in to Lucas on one of the shows tomorrow, and Lucas will give you the address. Just it is Blaine and Mickey or Buck show. Maybe J. Mon Ramon can send them that way. But I'm just saying the number 615-737-1045 is some crow that I would like to serve you. And I mean, I would hope you would take it.
We'll add some barbecue sauce on it.
I'll put some sauce on it. Yeah, I mean, I got a couple of sauces left from my Chick-fil-A earlier today. So I mean,
If it's not barbecue sauce, what's the next sauce for Slay?
Mambo.
listen, this is my girl, man. She knows what's going on. She knows
From
what's going on. She pay
DC.
attention. Yeah.
That stuff's from DC.
Yeah, capital city,
What
baby.
is that? Mambo Italiano. Hey,
No,
Mambo.
no.
Is that how that song
They'll
goes?
be hot at you if you do that. No, that's the land of go-go, man.
I
that's
used
music
to
I
like
listen to.
peri peri sauce. Do you like that?
What is that?
Harry Carey
bad.
sauce.
Peri peri.
Is it like a red sauce? See, I'm like a red sauce type of guy,
Oh
too.
no, it's it can't. Some of it can be,
Okay.
but
Oh, you mix it into something. Okay. Put me on, Babs. Like I'm a
I
sauce
got you.
connoisseur.
I'll bring
Hey.
you some.
You wanted Kentucky fans to call in and take their stuff?
And Babs prefaced all of this yesterday by saying,
If
had to eat
you
it.
guys lose, you will sit and face it
That's
and
right.
take your medicine.
Roger's going to do it.
All
But
of
before
that.
we get to him,
What?
there was a question before Coach
got
Mack.
one?
Why the dramatic blowout shift in these two matchups?
In my opinion, this is what happens in rivalry games. Like if that game would have been close in Kentucky, y'all still on disrespect level. In Kentucky, I think it would have been a close fought game in Thompson Bowling. But with it being a blowout, like that is just embarrassing,
tests your manhood,
man.
right?
Like, and you don't forget, like you heard the players, and remember I said yesterday, remember I said yesterday, but during the show, what excites me about this game tonight is when not you hear about the coaches, but when you heard about the players at the podium saying, man, that was embarrassing. That'll never happen again. We will not let that happen again. And we cannot wait for this game. So, I mean, it means something else to us. That's different when you get that from the players. The coaches can try to drill that in you as much as they can. But when the players talk like that, they're the ones that got to go out there and play the game. And you saw it. You saw it. Nobody played fearful of fouling or anything. Like, that's the one good thing. And here it comes again. Rick Pitino always says, we play so hard and foul so much. If the referees called every foul, we'll be here all night long. The refs don't want to call every foul, so they're going to let some stuff go if everybody plays hard. But if one or two play hard like that, there's going to be a problem. Yesterday, you saw it from all five on the court. A dude, everybody, like, it's different.
Let's get Roger in here.
And it was defense, too, right?
Remember we said that's the calling card now.
Yeah.
They understand that.
Like, they stopped that run in the second half.
Yeah.
There was a good solid
Even when they
amount
wasn't
of time with
scoring.
no field goals for Kentucky.
Yeah.
Roger in White House. Roger, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Well, hello, my brother. How art thou, Roger?
How art thou? Man, I've been better.
Well, hey, listen. A month ago at this time, man, listen, I've been in those shoes, so I left those shoes right there on the porch, and I'm glad you had that opportunity to put them on. How do they feel?
Well, at some point during my trash talking yesterday, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I'm just talking too much. I think I'm jinxing this. So,
I respect that.
I love it, Roger.
Hey, here's
the thing. Like, hey, thanks for calling, brother. Appreciate you.
SEC tournaments can be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like,
that's why it's supposed
do
to
they
be
play
here.
again in the SEC tournament?
NCAA tournaments can be fun.
Because
it is.
We deserve one more on this deal.
And see, that's
a rubber match.
That's the thing. But see, the problem is, and this is how you know every game that a rival plays, regardless of what people feel of it, their fans, our fans, man, these games matter differently because 2 years ago in that SEC tournament to go to the championship before Tennessee or Kentucky had to play Auburn, they went to blows in that game.
Yeah.
Dude, it was amazing. That felt like the championship game. So the next
it's about to get live up in here.
Yeah, so the next game after that Tennessee won against Kentucky in the SEC tournament, had to go play Auburn in the championship, and Auburn waxed them.
Yeah.
Reason being, I was gonna say, yeah, like that's
No,
okay.
I remember specifically what. Yeah.
Be cool. So I'm saying that to say it's so much into that the other team is so spent. Like whoever's next, man, it's gonna be hard. That's why I said
you're right.
Yeah.
That's why I said going to this Arkansas game on
It's
Saturday.
gonna be tough on Saturday.
Man, I can see them losing this game.
Yeah.
Like
especially on the road against a good team.
You talking about character?
Who just beat Auburn?
Yeah, you talking about character, dude? They would show me a whole lot if they go to Arkansas and get that victory. I don't care if it's 1 point.
Yeah,
they just go get that victory.
They might earn a break. They won't get one, but we will. It's time to break. We'll be
Sorry.
right back.
We'll
You
get
want
one.
in? All lines are open. 615-737-1045. Newbrakes.com. NUbrakes.com. That's the website. It's a new mobile brake repair service where they come to you to fix your brakes. You don't go to them. They come to you. So you could be doing whatever you're doing at your house, and they'll be in the driveway fixing your brakes. We all have things to do. That's why it makes it imperative that you call New Brakes for more affordable brakes than getting your brakes fixed at a dealership or repair shop. They use premium brake parts. They warranty all their work, so you know it's always done right. And they're backed by thousands of 5-star reviews. Go to the website, newbrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com. Get an instant online quote. Choose your repair date. They come to you to fix your brakes. Convenience at its finest. Tell them you're a Zone listener. You'll get a 10% discount. That's nubrakes.com.
Hey, Nashville, or should we say Smashville? I think we should say Smashville. Hockey coming to Music City for the NHL Stadium Series game. They are setting up. The ice is set and laid. And to celebrate, FanDuel Sportsbook is giving all of you a $10 bonus when you bet at least $20 on any NHL game. It started yesterday from February 15th through the 18th. Plus, here's the cool part about it, you'll be automatically entered to win 2 free tickets to the Stadium Series game right here in Smashville. Don't miss your chance to watch the Preds take on the Tampa Bay Lightning at the first ever outdoor NHL game here in Tennessee. And here's how you enter today. Bet at least $20 on any eligible NHL game. The Preds have one against the Hurricanes, by the way, in 2 days on February 18th. You can jump on that one. Maybe you jumped in on the Preds and Caps last night and bet on that. Just find one, bet at least $20 on any eligible NHL game. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, sign up with promo code DAWN, D-A-W-N, and you're in. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Again, that is promo code DAWN. You got to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit. Expires in 7 days. Max bonus $10. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
Good afternoon. Tennessee upset a top 5 basketball team last night. Now it's Vanderbilt's turn. They're going to be heading down to the place to take on the Auburn Tigers, which are ranked number 2 in the country. Tip-off is scheduled for 8 o'clock. It is going to be on the SEC Network. Hey, did you know that Team USA was playing hockey in the Olympics? Don't worry, it's over because nobody else knew it either. They lost in the quarterfinals earlier today to Slovakia in a shootout. This will be the 3rd straight season or 3rd straight Olympics that the men's hockey team will go home without a medal. The last time they medaled was in 2010 against Vancouver, and the last time they won the gold That was that whole Miracle on Ice thing. Tonight, Memphis will be taking on Portland back in Memphis after defeating New Orleans last night. Portland is currently on a 3-game winning streak. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to go visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Happy Wednesday. Beautiful day in the hood today. Not so much tomorrow. You know it's going to be bad when
what's tomorrow?
The Nashville severe weather guys texted me today and go, "Hey, you guys want us on the show tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh no.
And they sent me a graphic.
Oh no.
It's going to be bad tomorrow.
I had no idea.
I didn't either. That's the same thing.
As Rhett Bryan said earlier today.
Now I'm about
to
have anxiety again.
When it's 72 degrees in February, look the hell out.
Yeah, you're right.
That ain't right. It was hot yesterday leaving. Like, I opened my sunroof and thought I was crazy. I closed it. Because I was like, dude, am I tripping?
So to clean up a couple things, we were talking about Jim Ross earlier, who was on the J. Martin Ramone show this morning. Was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal conversation about all kinds of things. And you can check out the podcast where you get podcasts. And those guys are going to be at doing the wrestling thing over at Municipal Auditorium tonight. Doors open at 5.
AEW.
Yep.
They're doing both Dynamite and Rampage tonight.
So my 11-year-old's all in on wrestling. He's like, "Dad, can we go?" I'm like, "Oh, my gosh. Number 1, you got basketball practice. Number 2, you got baseball practice. Number 3, we got to decide which one. Number 4, no, we're going home after that."
Life of the dad.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. But then that led me down to Bob Ross. So I've read something else. Bob Ross, the painter, the white dude with the afro. He rest in peace, Bob Ross. He passed away at the age of 52. But the blog 538, I just read this, analyzed 381 episodes in which Ross painted live on television, concluding that 91% of Ross's paintings contained at least one tree, 44% included clouds, 39% included mountains, and 34% included mountain lakes.
So
he rarely contained human subjects or signs of human life. On rare occasions, he would incorporate a cabin, sometimes with a chimney, but never with smoke, and possibly unoccupied.
They went that deep, possibly unoccupied.
See, you learned something. I've got to balance you out, Slay. You're all in on this Tennessee like nothing else in life is going on right now.
It's not today.
Like, who in the heck
would go through that?
Whose job is to analyze all those videos of him painting?
That's what I want.
Like,
not me.
300 something paint.
381.
He also died broke.
Yeah.
Dang. So them paintings wasn't worth nothing.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter when you die.
Painters make money when they die, right? Yeah. Like your paintings don't sell and become valuable until you're dead, right? Isn't that the life?
I mean, that's
starving
that's
artist,
like the
right?
life of an artist.
Yeah.
His problem was he
Van
signed
Gogh.
over all of his rights for all of his merchandise and all of that to somebody else, so he never made any money off of it.
Oh, that's like Kramer in
see?
Seinfeld when he sold his stories.
God,
Like
take
if
care of
Slay
yourself.
sold his stories and couldn't ever tell his stories, what would happen?
So the Seinfeld stories were Kramer's?
Well, Kramer had all these stories or whatever, and he sold them to, who did he sell them to? Like,
did somebody use them?
Yeah, they would tell them. They made them their own stories because they led a boring life.
On a show?
Yeah.
I never watched it.
You know about Seinfeld?
No.
It was to Peterman.
Peterman. He
Don't
sold them
give
to
me that
Peterman.
look.
That's right. Did you watch Friends?
Little bit back in the day, yeah.
What were you doing?
I apparently working and studying and working out and
kicking
playing
Coke machines.
sports and I'm sorry, did you say kicking A?
Yes.
And
Hey, Slay.
taking names? That's what I was doing.
She said she was studying. That's why she wasn't watching Seinfeld.
I'm not sure about that in the SEC.
Adam on Zone
now.
TV on YouTube. If Jim
I don't know how Tennessee does it, but now Auburn.
I said on Ramon's show yesterday, and he agreed. Sports, kicking it, school. In that order.
What if you didn't play sports?
Hey,
Kicking
you're
it.
not going to be
School.
You are not going to be honored on National Mentor Day if you keep saying crap like that.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm telling them to do better than me.
There you go.
Yeah, do as I say.
Yeah,
not as I
That's
do.
what I always
did this so you don't have
That's
to do
what I
this.
always say.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, whatever you do, don't go into journalism.
Don't walk my
Just
path.
run the
Yeah.
other way,
Don't
turn
walk my
around
path.
and run,
There you
sprint
go.
the other way.
Well, I mean, if you wouldn't have dropped, what was it, biochemistry?
For me,
No, me.
Babs, you're going to be a
She was going to be a
scientist.
doctor.
I was pre-med. Yeah, and then
She went to drop an ad, though.
my first week of organic chemistry.
Organic chemistry, yeah.
It it terrified me. And I walked into my counselor and I said, hi, I'm going to have to drop this, which means I'm going to have to drop this other math class and this other science class. And I'm going to need you to change my major to
Yeah.
mass comm.
I like it. Good job, Babs.
And I'm out.
Yeah, I'm going. Dude, that's, woo.
Yeah.
Cal on Twitter, Bob Ross painted the pictures twice before taping the TV show.
Who is Peterman?
Really?
On Seinfeld, Peterman.
I mean,
He was
people are
Elaine's boss.
fascinated with Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. My grandmother used to be watching that dude every time I go over to her house after
How
after
can
school.
you do something like that?
I don't know. A
You-
lot of people
I
ask
can't-
us how we do this every day.
I can sell my stories to you, and then you can't let me tell my story.
Right, I get them.
Yeah, they're
So-
no longer
So you
yours.
gonna tell my story
Yeah,
like it's your story, but
yeah.
it's really me.
I mean,
Remember what-
it's
this
a
time-
fake show, Slay.
I don't care. Like that's
Like,
This is blowing your
can't
mind.
tell the
it's
story.
not
Yeah.
real life. You do
He
know
can't
that.
tell my story
Hey,
like I'm.
there
gonna
was this
tell it.
time we were in southern Italy, me and my homeboys, and we saw our shadow in the parking lot. It looked like Alfred Hitchcock.
See what I'm saying?
So Brent,
Everybody like what?
before the Kentucky game,
Yeah.
when he was in school, he
Right.
would go up to the door and just bang on it, be like,
Yeah.
"Can I let him in?
Yeah.
Can I let him in?"
That ain't right,
Yeah,
man.
Hunk tells your story pretty nice,
Yeah.
That
actually.
was kind of cool, right?
Hey, man, I used to wear a headband, and early on during my basketball career at Tennessee, like I would give them to little kids because they would want the headband, but then I can't find the headbands anywhere in Knoxville.
Hey, dude,
Brent, you remember the time you were at the Playboy Mansion?
it's no way.
Oh,
Like,
man. I was wearing all black.
So they put it. They would put in the contract, and I would have to sign it that I can't never tell that story again.
Yeah, you need to watch that episode.
What?
It's
Okay,
really
so
good.
if I was sitting at a bar, and I was just around some people, and I told that story, I could get in trouble.
yeah, I could sue you.
Oh, that's some BS. That don't make no sense to me.
Hey, man, there's this time I ran a go route and I caught a 78-yard touchdown pass. I got the end zone, man. They had to come get me out the end zone.
Dude, I remember when you
man.
were a quarterback before that,
Yeah.
though, because you also.
I was only like 6'4" at the time.
I'm gonna tell you what though, if I hear somebody out here in these streets telling my stories, man, I'm gonna have to approach them, man, because that
There's
ain't
a
right.
fake slave.
Yeah,
There's
that
a
ain't
fake slave running
Yeah,
around.
They can't be running around with them stories, man. That ain't right. I'm gonna
That's
stop
not
telling
real.
my stories.
By the way, here's a story. You told it earlier.
What?
There's this little man on the Kentucky bench. He's a strength coach or whatever, that guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Rob or Ron?
I don't know what his
Rob
name is. Little
Parker.
dude.
And Vescovy goes over there and trying to help his teammate.
Who forfeits him?
First, before the Vescovy incident, my man stood up and he's about as tall as Fulky when he was
Yeah.
sitting down on the laps of
Yep.
those guys. But he was like puffed out like you were saying,
Sure
but
was.
yelling stuff at Fulky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's the adult in this situation?
Clearly not him.
So then all that goes on. They have the double technical. The score was 17-15 Kentucky at that point. Kennedy Chandler hit 8 straight points.
Yeah.
Tennessee went on a 17-2 run. It was over.
Yep. It was
That was
part
it.
it was over. Josiah got the dunk, then Josiah came back with the 3-pointer. Like it was
Lock the door.
just locked the door.
Blame the whole thing on that little guy.
Because I do say this, like that game was going. I feel that game was going to be a tit for tat game, and like somebody was going to eventually have to pull away or make a couple of mistakes here or there.
What about with Ty not playing, though?
But he did.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but even his presence out there, like, but that's my thing. Listen, man. And let me say this, man. Like, I hope that young man is all right. I hope Cal shuts him down, not selfishly because I think they're a worse team without him, but with him playing, man, it's a bigger picture for him. Like, that young man going to the league, dog. Like, he ain't coming back to school. Like, it's a done deal. So let him get healthy, man. You know what I mean? And it's a bigger picture. And I will give Cal props. He did say he asked him twice before that game. And Ty said, yeah, I want to go. And Cal said, I should have went with my gut and not played him at all. Yeah. So I think he got the best interest of the kid, man. But that dude different, man. That boy can play. But you can't. You getting that 94-foot box? I don't know by what 94 by what. Anybody know? But
53 and a half. I don't know.
All right, cool. All right. That's cool. But you getting that box right there?
Talking about the court?
Yeah. You know what? 94 feet long, and then whatever the width. But once you get in there, all bets are off. You come out there, lace your shoes up, dog. You fair game. Like, you get exposed. That's why I always tell y'all, like, when I tore my ACL, I wasn't going out there with no brace. Because I feel like, man, they gonna key on that. So,
right.
No, you all in. It ain't no worried about who's hurt. And man, you shouldn't have never stepped on the court. Now it's time for you to get exposed.
91.86 feet long, 49.21 feet wide.
Man, we're gonna go
94 by 50.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what we're going with.
What's Naismith doing, man?
It probably did. It used to be like that back in the day or something.
Why not make it 95 by 50, like on the dot? Why am I at 49.21?
That's a good question. Oh, because then where's the half?
Well, it's if
easier probably if you
do the outer dimensions, technically, then it's 50.
Yeah. Thanks, Babs.
Yeah.
So,
like, you know how it's like a little thick line around the outside. If you do the outer, then
biochemist right
50. That's right.
Coming through.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
I asked the question real quick. We'll dive back into this when we come back. But who we know who the four are, right? Like in the SEC, there's a 3-game pad.
Yeah.
Between the top four and the rest.
Yeah.
Who in that next group could
Is
do
the
some
team?
damage? Yeah, that could, because
in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, because like we've talked about all year, pretty much anybody can beat anybody. I mean, Georgia beat Alabama, right? Like, so anybody can beat anybody in the league, but that mid-range group where there's a bunch of teams right around 500.
Yep.
Is there somebody that could get hot, that could be dangerous in March? 615-737-1045 at 3HL1045 on Twitter.
Hey, Rocket, what's my mortgage rate? Rocket, when am I closing? Is anyone there? Rockets are really cool, but they don't speak mortgage. You need a home loan expert for that. Get pre-approved for your next mortgage at thehomeloanexpert.com.
At great levels. AccurateMTG.com is the website, and these guys can help you out. I've been telling you about them for a long, long time, and for good reason. Lots and lots of 3HL listeners, lots and lots of Zone listeners have utilized the services of Accurate Mortgage. Mike Hoover, Joe Stanford, and the collective team at Accurate Mortgage Group are ready to help you with any of your mortgage needs, and they can do it right now. Simply go online and reach out to them at AccurateMTG.com. If you plan to buy or refinance in 2021 but never got around to it, you're still in luck because rates are still hovering around all-time lows, as I said. And people are still saving up to hundreds of dollars per month on their mortgage payments. So make sure you get with my guys at Accurate Mortgage Group. No more procrastinating. To see how low your rate will go, visit them online, AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage Group, a division of Acopia, LLC, is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 4664. We do have some football things to get to before the end of the show. Where will Desean Watson be? There are ads. No, odds. He's not taking out ads. Like, hey,
could be taking an ad out.
I'm on the market. Hire me.
Yeah, I go.
Sportsline.com has odds on where Desean Watson will be. Also, Bengals coach Zach Taylor was asked about his offensive line. Will they address the offensive line position in the offseason? He said, well, they were good enough to make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay, Zach. Wrong answer. Hunk, hit it. Thank you.
I was like, what's he hitting?
Wrong answer.
Definitely
Zach.
wrong answer.
Your answer is yes.
Yes. So Todd Fuhrman actually retweeted that and wrote, can we get Andrew Luck to address this question? You want to roll 5 years?
And then, you know what? And then right after that, he says, oh, yeah, by the way, Joe Burrow played the Super Bowl with a strained or whatever MCL. Yeah, because your offensive line sucks.
Keep on playing around.
Here's my question
man.
on that. I got that they said that, but
you don't think it was true?
Did he play the whole game with it, or is that when he got hit in the knee and he tore his meniscus?
I think it's when he got hit in the knee.
That's what I thought.
He looked good because remember he ran for a first down early in that game.
Yep.
When the middle opened up.
That guy wasn't feeling anything that game.
Yeah.
I think it could have been prior.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, I mean, the guy's been beat up all year.
I don't know. I mean, he got hit
The
in
Titans
the
sacked
game.
him 9 times.
It could have been any time.
9 times.
9 times.
That's true.
He did get hit in the knee, though, and grabbed his knee and then was limping after that.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah, he got rolled up under.
Also, Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell to Minnesota. Cincinnati fans gave the Bengals a hero's welcome home. They spent some time on that on J. Martin Ramon this morning.
Mm-hmm.
By the way.
What?
I love Ramon.
Yeah.
But
that is but
here it comes.
Big
but
here we go, Jim. On the
clock. Here we go, Jim. Yep.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Right? This is probably one of those. All of that, it's a participation trophy, blah, blah, whatever. That right there is just Pittsburgh Steeler coming out of him. Right there. That's all that is.
Yeah, his opinion was you don't throw a parade, you don't have a gathering, you don't do anything because you didn't win the big game.
So I understand both.
Right, but you won the AFC.
Yeah, but
and you weren't expecting.
Well, plus Cincinnati had won. Sorry, that had won 2 games 2 years ago. Like, I mean, so I think every case is different. But to her point, like your brother came from a place where they expect to win Super Bowls.
Right. That's the
a different level.
Yeah, and like, but I understand it too. Like, even if I was a player, like I wouldn't want no parade either. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's more so for the fan. Yeah, like
I get it.
I'm gonna tell them right. Like I was telling Brent downstairs. When we went to the Sweet 16 and we were coming back, they were like, man, we want to greet y'all with, some people and cheering and all that. We like, nah, man, we off that, man. Like, what, man, let's get back to it. Like, what we cheering for? Like, we won the SEC tournament, SEC title that year and everything outright against some good teams. And still, it was like, matter of fact, we beat the defending champs to make sure we won it, who was Auburn. But, we didn't want no parts of that, man, at all. So I understand that from the player perspective, but I can understand the fans want to rally around it as well.
That's what I told Moan. I think it's 2 different things. Like it's 2 different answers.
Before this year, the Bengals had not won a playoff game since 1990.
Yeah. So how many Bengals fans
were you
were not
in
alive?
1990?
Yeah, 10. No, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but like I understand it for them, but you're also saying that
10.
I think when
9.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Well, somewhere around there. But I don't think you don't want that to become a norm either though. Like
that you're celebrating not winning all of it.
The Buffalo Bills, I don't think just because if they went to the AFC Championship, I don't think they would be celebrating. I think they would be wanting to win like Jim Kelly would be.
They've lost a bunch of them. Maybe they would celebrate.
But Jim Kelly no way Jim Kelly did it.
On Broadway.
But the Titans had never been there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I told Moan, here's the thing, too. Like,
I feel
get
like you can say the Bengals hadn't been there, too, kind of, because it's been so long.
They haven't.
They've lost 3
That's
Super
what I'm saying.
Bowls.
I agree. Like
But it's been a while.
If it was Tennessee, the men, I would think that the fans would want to have something for them, but they went to the championship and lost. Right. But on the opposite end of that, I'm thinking about it as a fan and a player from there. I'm gonna think when I go and I hang out with the women's basketball team, they're gonna be laughing at me. Man, y'all crazy. Y'all had a little.
Yeah, but what about the guys like Kennedy Chandler won't be there? Fulke's been through 6 years. Like I think they would want
So it's also kind of a thank you to those.
You don't think so? I told Moan, I said, look, if Tennessee went to the Final Four and lost, I'd be up in Thompson-Boling Arena with everybody else and people can't get in celebrating that team.
If it was a magical run, I think I would go. But
I'm a journey over result guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm competitive as crap and want the result, but the results happen, right? Like, the whole key to everything is the journey.
I wouldn't plan. I'm as a fan, I'm doing it, but I also, if I'm the player on that team, there's no way possible I'm doing it.
615.
I'm out.
737-1045.
By the way, just to clean this up real quick,
clean it up.
Zach Taylor had said that he had suffered, like the MCL was in the fourth quarter where he was grabbing his knee. That was the injury, but it was something that was a re-aggravation of something that happened back in December.
Yeah.
So, like I said, he just got his, beat all year long with that line.
Here's the other thing. Let's find out what happened to Matthew Stafford when he got hit low, too. My guess is he was playing with something also, especially the way he was guzzling that tequila like they do in Vegas, right, Todd?
That's for sure. Hopefully Matthew Stafford also carved out a little bit of time to drink some water, because at his age, every cocktail he puts down the hatch, you got to polish off about 8 to 12 ounces of water, or you'll be paying the piper for the next 72 to 96 hours thereafter.
What, you would know, Todd?
Yeah, you sound like an expert.
I mean, that's what I've been told, Don. I wouldn't partake in such a behavior or such an endeavor, but that's what I've told from sources very close to me.
Have we already started to see some futures for next year with regard to NFL MVP, teams to win the AFC, things like that?
Yeah, numbers are up. I mean, books don't really waste any time. If they can tie up folks' cash for 350 days, they're going to do so any way possible. And when you look at some of the odds to win the Lombardi Trophy next season, of course, a game that'll be played in lovely Glendale, Arizona, I don't think it'll come as a shock to anyone that Buffalo and Kansas City more or less co-favorites at FanDuel right now. And that's where things start to get interesting, because you have a team like the Green Bay Packers, the Los Angeles Rams, the 49ers, the Cowboys. They're all in somewhat state of flux, whether it's at the head coach spot for Dallas and how long a leash Mike McCarthy has, or the other trio of teams that don't know if Aaron Donald and Sean McVay will be back. Will Aaron Rodgers be under center for the Packers, and what direction will the 49ers go? Assuming it's Trey Lance, I think 15-1 is a leap of faith. That's where you get into that second bucket of teams highlighted by the Bengals, Ravens, Broncos, Chargers, Cardinals, and, of course, the Tennessee Titans.
Interesting. Speaking of the 49ers, what's up with Aaron Rodgers? Where is he going to end up? What's it looking like?
I mean, that's the shortest price out there. He's about 3-1 to end up in San Francisco if he were to leave Green Bay. So it's definitely something that books have to be cognizant of. And I think that's part of the reason you see a lot of these teams that may not have officially committed to a starting quarterback with their odds relatively short, because the last thing you want to do is put yourself in a spot to take on unnecessary liability and have to spend the next 9 to 10 months trying to get off of that figure. One team that I don't think books are worried about whatsoever would, of course, be the Houston Texans. They're 180-1, and they're picking up the rear.
Gosh.
What about Desean Watson?
Yeah, speaking of the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. And we know that Desean would obviously turn a team that had a question mark at quarterback into an instant contender. And whether it's the Tampa Bay Bucks trying to go all in once they know for 100% certainty that Tom Brady is gone, or if Watson would make perfect sense in a Philadelphia or a Pittsburgh or somewhere else along those lines, I really believe that the Houston Texans have to try and figure out a way to get as much draft capital as they possibly can. Keeping Desean Watson on their roster only slows down the rebuild. And I did think for a little while, while they were at least kicking the tires on Brian Flores being their head coach, knowing the relationship between him and Watson, that there was a chance that he would come back and let bygones be bygones. But I think with them naming Lovie Smith the man in charge, that ship has sailed, and we'll continue to wait as the Desean Watson situation plays out, both on the field and, of course, off the field.
What about Russell Wilson? Is it the same teams for both of those guys, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson?
You know, for the most part, although San Francisco, I'm sure, would love to get their hands on Aaron Rodgers and a return to the Bay Area, I can't see a scenario where Russell Wilson would go right down the coast and stay in the same division and play for the 49ers. I think when you look at Russ, Pittsburgh Steelers would make a ton of sense if the two teams could arrive at a deal. But if you're looking at some of the odds for where these players will land, Russell Wilson, a 1-4 favorite to remain the starting quarterback in Seattle. I know he's reaffirmed his commitment to that organization, but I think if you're the Seahawks and you know that other than Russ, you have so many other holes that need to be filled, it's something that you have to consider if one of these teams desperate for a quarterback who thinks they're a piece away is willing to blow your socks off and be able to get this deal done.
Todd, switching over to the NHL, the Preds have dropped 3 in a row. What's going on with them? What do their numbers look like moving forward?
Yeah, they're reeling right now, and unfortunately for the Preds, their schedule doesn't get any easier. Over the next 4 games, they're going to need to try and find a way to pick up points because there isn't a gimme in that quartet, and it'll start, of course, with a road trip to Carolina to take on the Hurricanes, bookended by a home date at Nissan Stadium for the outdoor game against Tampa, but sandwiched in between a road trip to Florida and a home game against Dallas. You look at the Preds defensively, they've really put a lot more pressure on UC Saros. They've had real issues keeping the puck out of their own net, and even last night, when they were able to even up the score at 1 apiece in the third period, they found a way to give up the game-winning goal just a few seconds later. Although I'm not going to lie, guys, I was a little bit disappointed in the atmosphere created there for Fan Appreciation Night. With half-price concessions, I figured it would have been a lot louder and rowdier than it was.
Well,
price.
They Mayor told me earlier today, Todd, that I probably need to stay away from the Preds for a minute.
Yeah, he made
I
pretty
did
good bank on
before
them.
the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what's going on now. So who do I need to look
I think
at?
From a betting perspective, the market is kind of caught up to Nashville, and their advanced metrics don't suggest that what they did in the first half of the season is sustainable. The problem being for the Preds going forward is as that gap continues to shorten, you have a team like the Dallas Stars playing much better right now. And let's see what they can do during this 4-game stretch. If they're able to pick up a couple of points, I think they can right the ship before they have a 2-game trip out to the West Coast to take on Seattle and San Jose. But 2 games against Dallas between now and March 10th could go a long, long way in determining where those 2 teams will sit as we get closer to the trade deadline.
Don brought this up earlier when we were talking about Tennessee and they were playing Kentucky last night and taking care of that business. Dude, Vegas got to be salivating over this, basketball in general, the conference tournaments, and then the NCAA, right?
It's one of the best times of year to be out here, and quietly, conference tournament week has become much better for sports books as far as some of the energy and excitement because you have live basketball out here in Las Vegas, whether it's the West Coast Conference, the Pac-12, the Mountain West. So many different leagues have decided to make Las Vegas its home, and you see an uptick in ticket sales as a result because teams and fans really want to flock out here. Of course, the NCAA tournament that opening weekend should be on everyone's bucket list to at least be out in Vegas once because it's wall-to-wall energy and excitement, especially when the games are close. And that's the next major sporting event that we have to look forward to. As big a NASCAR fan as I am, the sports books will not be packed to the gills this coming Sunday for the running of the Great American Race at Daytona.
Yeah, so rounds 1 and 2, you say all the time, is maybe the best time to be out there?
Yeah, at least to make one trip, and I think once you've done it once, then it makes more sense to come back for the conference tournaments because it's easier to get restaurant reservations, it's easier to get decent hotel rates. Now, the weather's not going to be as warm and maybe not conducive to pool weather, so if that's what you're looking for. I also think the Sweet 16 weekend is tremendous because games don't tip off here on the West Coast until 4, so it gives you a chance to go on an all-night bender. You can sleep in until 10:30, 11. You can sweat out some of that tequila, from about 11 to 2 in the afternoon, shower up, and be fresh as a daisy to watch meaningful basketball on Thursday and Friday night.
Slay, you know what he's talking about with these pool parties, don't you?
You better believe it. That's what I was just about to say. Is it a time when the pool party is not good? I think the weather's already good.
You can't really find a good one right now. So, it's not truly pool season out here in the desert. You wouldn't know it with the weather, but the day clubs that I know Slay walks in as a celebrity and they just start handing him bottles of Cristal don't really open up until the middle of March. But the one thing for you, Slay, that I would encourage, if you're going to come out here, make sure it's the opening weekend because we know the Tennessee Volunteers aren't afraid to go through a 9-minute scoring drought and get knocked out in the round of 32 again.
Oh!
Slam.
Wow.
I believe that Kentucky went about 12 minutes without a basket last night.
It sure felt like that, and I think this is a Kentucky team that definitely has a higher ceiling, in my opinion, than Tennessee.
Todd, wait a minute.
Go ahead, Slay. Get it off your chest, my friend, and then I'll knock you down a peg.
Yeah, you just went and said this Kentucky team with the high ceiling and all that. But don't you know they just came in the Rocket Top and we bent that little butt over and spanked it and sent them on back down the interstate? You do know that, don't you?
I do realize that, but I also realize that one of Kentucky's key contributors, Ty Washington, only played 13 minutes and looked like a shell of himself.
Yes.
And Slay, if I remember back when Tennessee traveled the other way on the interstate to Rupp Arena, it was a game where they gave up 107 points.
This is true.
The season series is now tied.
It's a rivalry, Todd.
We may have a rubber match in the SEC Conference Tournament, but I think when you're looking at the level of athlete and Kentucky's ease of scoring in the half court, you do have to believe they are much more poised to make a deep run, and that's why they're 8-1 to win the national title, with your beloved Volunteers checking in at 50-1.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think that's
value.
I think that's accurate.
Well, that's value, though.
I can get
50-1
money on that. Yeah, that's
right.
cool. But I also do think, I don't think Ty going to be able to go. I think you shut him down for the year, Todd. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if they do shut him down for the year, then it changes exactly what Kentucky's able to do, because he is the straw that stirs the drink for a lot of what this team can do offensively.
Totally agree. See? You really agree with me. You just want to stir my drink.
Oh, I mean, it's easy to do. If I got to take shots at somebody, it's not fun picking on Dawn right now. She's got a football program that had to give a stay of execution to a head coach in his second season, so she'll have enough to worry about when we get into the fall. But from what I've been told, Auburn is a basketball school now suddenly.
Yes,
That's right. You know, we pay our basketball coach more than we pay our football coach. So there you go.
If you were players to pay, too.
Yeah, you can make a commitment to Bruce Pearl, probably more so than you want to make to Brian Harsin. But from what I've been told, it's not just Brian Harsin that's the problem. It may be more his family than anything else.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one, actually.
Do tell.
That may be a better story to be told off the air than to try and alienate every Auburn alum that's listening right now, ready to run the message boards when we finish up this conversation.
You do know, like, board of trustees and all of that, they have also been a problem for numerous coaches.
You know, there is no doubt about it. And I think, you know, when you look at some of those programs, and obviously we're getting much closer to spring practice, there are some unrealistic expectations throughout the SEC. And I think Auburn is still trying to figure out exactly where they're going to stack up in the pecking order of the conference and how the NIL will impact them, knowing it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle in the SEC West to compete with the Alabamas and, of course, Texas A&M year in, year out.
Real quick, Todd, do you think Tom Brady plays somewhere next year?
You know, it's a great question, and one that I would have said absolutely not when they put out the whole press release and he went through the social media. But he hasn't exactly thrown water on the embers of his career, you know, kind of leaving that door open. So you do wonder the way things unfolded if Tom, as the summer goes on, begins to go, you know what, I didn't like the way I wrapped up my career with a loss to the Rams, the eventual Super Bowl champions. I still have something left in the tank. So I'd probably need a price if we were putting gambling odds on this at about 6.5, 7-1 to try and bet him to return. And would it shock anybody if Tom Brady decided to sit out this season and then come back at, you know, when he's 56 years old to try and prove to everybody that he's still got something left in the tank?
So Tom Brady more likely to come back and play next year than Tennessee to win the national championship in basketball?
Yes, I would say that's probably the case. And there's a better chance that Tom Brady wins another Lombardi trophy before Tennessee Hoops wins the national championship.
All right, Todd, you're out.
Wow.
See you, buddy.
Todd, I'm gonna make some calls out there. I got some partners in Vegas, Todd. You keep your head on the swivel. That's what you do.
We'll
He's going. He gone.
By the way,
he gonna be gone. He gonna play with me.
Clemson finished last on the 24/7 sports transfer portal grading scale. It made me think, like, are we going to see a flip because of NIL in terms of traditional football power becoming basketball power? Talk about next. 3HL 104.5 this up. Zone TV, Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. Don would say Twitch, please, if her mic were on. Adam said Todd Fuhrman chose violence today. No kidding. Bav's just sitting over there waiting for the break, and he just scorches her with the Auburn take. Come to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. The weather's going to be scorching at some point. It's warm today anyway. It would have been a perfect Jeep day today, and you can go see my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and get you a Jeep. New or pre-owned, car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, like I mentioned. Take your test drive. Ask your questions. They'll have the answers for you. There will be no pressure at all, and the reason is they just simply want you in the vehicle that's right for you. That's it. That's the only goal. So if you are looking around for that next new vehicle, make sure you include Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Exit 35 as you go 24 west toward Clarksville. A straight shot into Springfield, Tennessee. 3450 Tom Austin Highway is the address. Again, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Go see my guys at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. You can check them out online right now at GuptonMotors.com, the website. The inventory is there. All the dealership information is there as well. That's GuptonMotors.com. Go see my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Should we start talking or just listen? Dom wears boots with the fur from time to time.
And I always think about this song.
Sort of got
Low.
low.
So Friday, when it's 30 degrees.
Please turn the camera on. Huh?
Oh, it's on. It is on. And everybody got to see that.
Sort of got low.
Dropping it low.
That's right. Sometimes
She disappeared.
when the moment hits you, you got to do it. What was that, the Cabbage Patch?
A little bit of everything.
That's a great way. That's a perfect way to describe my Nancy.
That was like when we did that one segment from the Super Bowl with Buck and Ramon. We had 3 shows on at one time. We needed
There's a little bit of everything.
We needed to roll Blaine and Mickey up into Zoom or something at that point. Per 24/7 Sports, this from Mark Ryan. Clemson ranks last again, he writes, in the ACC's transfer portal rankings. 1 arrival, 11 departures. So you're not starting to. We've been hearing from coaches that are against the NIL, saying things about the NIL and it's unfair and all these things. Like we need a window of time or whatever, which they do. They need some sort of body governing the portal, right? It's the Wild Wild West. And Cool Mo D, is that who had that? and now like
Wild Wild West.
Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah.
So you've got like Dabo Sweeney was one of them, right? Like talking about the NIL and it's not fair and all these things. Well, they're not doing well with it. So I started thinking about like some of these maybe traditional football powers that can't come up with the NIL funds that other schools can. Maybe they have, fewer alumni, right? Like fewer students, fewer like a smaller base from which you could pull, things like that. So I started thinking, if I'm that school, maybe I turn my attention toward basketball, right? Because you need fewer players. Like theoretically, you could pay like 3 players big time amount of money and you could be a factor. So will we see a blue blood shift like 20 years from now?
Interesting way to say it or to put it.
Right? Because you buy 3 football players. I mean, let's be real. That's what it is. What are you going to do? I mean, unless it's like super quarterback guy.
Stopped, yeah.
Can I throw this at you, though?
Yes.
There's a hell of a lot more money in football, though.
Hell of a lot more money in football. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
And so, yes, for sure. People would be shocked to see the numbers, but there are only a handful of programs that are in the black in basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in football, a whole lot of people make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And fund all of the other sports.
Basketball, you're right. It can change them. Football, man, it can. Clemson just got to get on the ball. I think that's what it is. You just like Dabo, you either okay. So this is where you are. You can live by that sword or down that sword. And down that sword. It's that simple. If you don't get up with the times, your little program that you spent all this money into.
Your little program.
Yeah,
I know what I just love how you put things sometimes.
But it's like, dude, if you think back 3 or 4 years ago, remember all of the renovations and things to all of these programs and facilities. Clemson was ahead of the curve. Like they were showing up theirs, and everybody was like, "Goodness gracious!" Outside Alabama, man, this place is rocking, and now they done caught up. Don't even worry about that.
Well, I opened the window and I just noticed that the light's going right in your eyes. I thought we were done.
No, I love it. This ain't number.
Me and Hunt battle on it.
No, don't nobody touch it. That's the Vol light shining down on me, and I'm gonna let my little light shine.
Do you know when?
I'm just letting you have your day.
Thank you.
When I was in school at Tennessee in 1991, Tennessee played Notre Dame in football in 1990, and Notre Dame came on the field. And I told Aaron Taylor when we were talking to him, that's the one time I could feel the presence of that program come onto the field. Like you could feel it.
Yeah.
And so Tennessee lost that game 34-29. Andy Kelly threw an interception in the end zone. The next year was the Miracle at South Bend. So we're all watching that in my Reese Hall dorm room with like 20 dudes and like 2 girls. And it's not going well.
Right.
Right. And so you get the block field goal right before halftime. Tennessee came from, 34-3 down or whatever it was. And so I should know that, and I do, but in the moment I don't. So after the game, we all got rowdy, right? Like you go running into Presidential Courtyard and everybody's high-fiving each other, jumping on each other, hugging on each other, all that stuff. So that night we go down to the Lap, which is a bar that was on the Strip with the library, and they were connected. And so you can tell your parents, hey, I was at the library last night. Well, there's a bar. So those two places don't exist, and that's a shame.
Yes, it is.
But after that, we were like, hey, man, let's go down to Thompson Bowling, see if we can find an open door.
Yeah.
And so we took a basketball fully expecting to find an open door. You know what? We did. And we played basketball at Thompson Bowling. But when we were going in, the moon was like big and orange. And I was like, yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Go. I have no idea why I went down that path, but I did. But anyway, so Dabo and Lane Kiffin, when they're putting these rants out publicly, all they're doing is trying to put pressure on their guys to sell, right?
Right.
Like that's what they're doing.
Yep. And
that'd be like, if we sat on the radio and said, hey, man, Slay needs a health club endorsement.
Yeah.
Well, that's telling our salespeople to go call on health club.
You know what that ties into? Tomorrow, matter of fact, a person got in trouble for that. Merrill Cole, Jim Gatto, Christian Dawkins.
That is a big, 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 big story. And what sucks about that is, so Merle Code's going to come on with us tomorrow. He's going to federal prison on Friday.
Yeah.
The very next day.
Yep.
For stuff for
what we're talking about right now
basically is legal now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Slay was talking to Merrill Code's people, and he was like, hey, man, we'd love to do it. Can we do it on Friday? And they're like, no, he's going to jail on Friday. Yeah. Better do it Thursday.
How crazy is that?
And this interview is going to be, you want to tune in, it's going to be raw and uncut, unfiltered, like.
Yep.
Whoa. Please not unfiltered.
No. I mean, yeah.
The last time we did that was Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jim Ross this morning.
And there was one little man in this market that was really upset that we put Pac-Man Jones on.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good. Maybe he'll get upset about this too.
Yeah. By the way, you can hear that interview by going to 104.5 The Zone and listening to it.
Lots of people have. And we appreciate that. All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up. Do you know what, Slay?
What?
Tennessee beat Kentucky.
Go on!
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Always
when we come back?
All
right, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
I'll fight you. That is a spirited conversation right there on the morning show about wings. If you're spirited about a new loan, check out Loan Pronto. Did you know that about 80% of new home buyers don't ever shop around for the best mortgage loan? It's a big mistake. You don't really think about it, but not all mortgages are created equal. And I can prove it to you with Loan Pronto. People who use Loan Pronto save on average $3,500 just in closing costs. How about that? On top of that, they can get a better rate, which saves them thousands more every single year. Your banker or maybe your agent's go-to lender are great people, but just don't assume that they're giving you the best deal. Just at least go check it out. At least get a second opinion because it could save you a lot of money. And Loan Pronto is where you need to go. LoanPronto.com. You can get a better loan, a lower rate with all those annoying closing costs, and you have nothing to lose. Compare costs on everything else in your life, don't you? Why don't you do the same with mortgage? 615-499-5780 is where you can get that second opinion. LoanPronto.com. Process is super easy. I did it. 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Good evening. I am Joe Hunk, and the Vols did it last night. Now it is Vanderbilt's turn as you saw Tennessee take down Kentucky, a top 5 team. Vanderbilt is now going to be traveling to Auburn to take on the number 2 team in the country, the Auburn Tigers. Tip-off is going to be at 8 o'clock, and you can watch it on the SEC Network. Speaking of dubs, Memphis got one last night against New Orleans. They also covered the spread. Just letting you know. Memphis tonight, though, will be hosting the Portland Trailblazers in Memphis. Portland is currently on a 3-game winning streak. Tip-off for that game is going to be at 7 o'clock. And just a little while ago, Major League Baseball has announced that they will be meeting once again with the MLBPA tomorrow because the MLBPA has a proposal that they would like to place in front of Major League Baseball to try to end the lockout. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, your flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Channel 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, Joe Hunk, everybody.
Everybody.
Kennedy Chandler, Z.
Josiah. Hey, dude.
I like that. Yeah, hey, dude. How about that?
Yeah.
He had 15 minutes of play in the first 22 games. He had 18 minutes last night. And Sheboy had a tough time getting shots off around that guy.
It is long, man.
By the way, I totally understood what you were saying about Sheboy yesterday when you said, look, man, this guy can and maybe should win the National Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But he is not a first-round draft pick.
Nope. Won't be.
He couldn't guard anybody.
Nah, it's difficult.
What?
Now,
I mean, but they don't play defense in the NBA anyway.
This is true, too. I mean, that's true, too. I mean, but you got rebounding as a specialty for him, so.
But is that like an indictment on effort level?
Well, if he plays against a team that's got a big that's going to bang, he can do that. But when you've got athletic people that get the ball out around the free throw line or the top of the key and then take 2 steps and go to the hole, he couldn't stay with anybody.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think it's effort. I just think that
no, it's not effort
because rebounding is effort. You know what I'm saying? So he got the effort.
That's why I told you. I told you I'd out rebound you.
Dawn the Sheboy.
One day, Dawn did say she would out rebound.
I did say that.
Yes.
I don't know, man. We got to see. We got to see how that plays out. But he's a monster at doing that.
But people with athletic 4s and athletic 5s
they
see that on tape now. And
if Fulke can do it, believe me, like it's a problem on the next level.
By the way, I went back and looked. Fulke has played 12 games against Kentucky.
Golly.
12.
He got to be.
No wonder he's on the top 10 most hated SEC basketball player list with Slay.
For years.
12.
Like he's just been around forever, so he's had plenty of time to piss people off.
Yeah, he's played different generations and everything.
12.
He's 7-5 against Kentucky.
Really good record.
So, yeah. I mean, Rick Barnes now 9-7 against Kentucky.
So he probably has a winning record against every SEC school.
Yeah.
Did you see his press conference the other day? Somebody mentioned like his graduate SEC logo that's on his jersey.
I didn't know.
He goes,
that.
"Yeah, I got that 2 years ago."
Really? And see, that's
crazy.
He'll make fun of himself too. He's pretty cool about that. That's what's up.
He does. So Kentucky shot 34.3%. They shot 67.9% in the first one. 5 of 16 from 3. They were 11 of 18 in the first one. 107 points in the first game, 63. That's a 44-point difference. You talked about it a little bit earlier, Slade. The difference, and this is kind of the beauty of basketball, right? Like, because you can recreate your team because it's such a long season.
Right.
You can kind of mold different things and see different things develop and kind of turn your – and this is what the Tennessee players were saying in advance of the Kentucky game. Yeah. They were saying, we're a different team than we were when we played them the first time.
That's facts. And it all came down to paying attention to details. In that first game, they didn't sprint back. In this game, they made sure. On layups, like makes or misses. Man, them dudes were flying back to match up in transition. And Kentucky, to their credit, was trying to get the ball down and do exactly what they do, keep everything in transition where they don't have to set up a play. But Tennessee did a good job of getting back and closing down driving lanes.
Only 8 turnovers for the Vols.
Took care of the ball, and what they didn't give up like they did in Rupp was the driving lanes and them getting to their spots.
Well, they gave up like 30 points on fast break points, right? Like in the first matchup. And Coach Barnes said, look, defense we shot 53% against Kentucky at Kentucky.
Yeah. So we know we can run our sets.
Cut the turnovers down.
Yeah, that'll help.
Move the basketball.
Yep.
And different things can happen. So Sheboy, Kentucky's leading scorer with 13.
Show enough.
He had 15 rebounds as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Show enough. So Guy Ziegler and Kennedy Chandler combined. You ready for this? I always like looking at their stat line because let's be real. I mean, Tennessee's offensive improvements since that Kentucky game, they went from like 66 points per game to 73 points per game in these since that Kentucky game. A lot of it has to do with Z, right? And so you combine those two guys. I always love looking at their stat lines combined. 31 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 steals. Wow. Those guys, like both of them, their ability to, in man-to-man situations, just take the ball from you and go down the floor is amazing.
Yeah, and I think also with that, which makes that backcourt play the way they do, is they trust the guys in the front court now. So the people behind them, whether it be if I get beat for gambling, it's going to be a guy right there to rotate and cut that off. Where when they were getting beat in Kentucky, and those games before when they won in Arizona and then lost against LSU and it went on, so forth and so on, what was happening, those guys were getting beat and it wasn't nobody rotating over and it didn't create a scramble situation. Now you got guys back there protecting the basket, Euro's protecting the paint, I do protecting the basket, A dude protecting the basket, Fulke playing in his role, Josiah when he's at the 4 being able to pick that person up and then they just rotate out. So it's a totally different game now, man, and so you can apply pressure like that. So it's different. They're applying pressure at both ends.
And Barnes has found his closeout group.
Yep.
Which I love that. And he'll play them from time to time together.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got the 3 guards with Vescovi and Chandler and Z and then Josiah at the 4 and then whoever the 5 is, which last night was Fulke.
Yep.
And
that's what it is. You go with who's rolling right there at this spot.
We talked about at the beginning of the year. He's trying to find who plays well together and things like that. So that's the beauty of basketball is that you can go through those different lineup changes throughout the course of the year and become much better or much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you figure that out offensively, especially when you play deep, my bad.
So that you're peaking in March.
Yeah. And that's where Cal's trying to go. And we'll have to see about Ty, and if he's able to get back out there because they're a much different team, much better team.
Without question.
He had 28 in the first game against Tennessee.
Yeah, and got where he wanted to.
He did. From a Tennessee perspective, they have now beaten, like if you look at the projected top 4 seeds, the number 1 seeds, Tennessee's beaten Arizona. They've beaten Kentucky. They play Auburn next Saturday. Right, Babs?
It's a big one.
Yep.
I hate it's on a Saturday from a standpoint of, smack talking with you.
Yeah, don't worry. I will. I'll be live.
I know you will not.
I may be at that game.
Really?
I may make it up for that one.
Ooh.
I like to catch Coach Pearl and them and shoot around. He's real candid.
Do you like him? I mean, you know him from when he was at Tennessee.
Yeah,
he's your guy. Yeah.
I mess with Pearl.
I like him and know him too. I like to catch him at the SEC tournament in the bowels of the gym, except it's in Tampa this year.
Why do you say bowels?
That's what it is.
I know, but ooh.
Inside.
Why is it in Tampa?
Because they just have to give these
fired up about it.
They just have to give these throwaway games or tournaments to other cities,
like every 4 years or something.
Why St. Louis?
Here's St. Louis. No, just keep it in Nashville and call it a freaking day.
St. Louis was just because Missouri came in. It's like, all right, we'll give it to you if you come
I told Sankey that they need to move the baseball tournament here, and he goes, "You guys want everything. You guys mean in Nashville?" I'm like, well, yeah. Like, y'all should move here too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The SEC should move
Why
here.
are
city you're in
the
is
SEC offices
nothing.
in Birmingham?
Yeah,
like,
that
come
ain't- that
on.
City ain't nothing, man.
Right here is where you need to be in Nashville. It's the place to
Nathaniel in
be.
that
If
city.
you need a factory or two, you can go to Birmingham. They'll cover you.
It's true.
We're smack talking Birmingham.
Yeah,
this is
we
where we
are.
are. All right.
Real.
3HL at 3HL1045 on Twitter. How big is a regular season win? Like, how much should you celebrate?
Mm-hmm.
Which will lead us into Cincinnati, into Bengals, and their fans showing up at the stadium to welcome home their team. We'll get into that too. 3HL 615-737-1045.
We're talking about February 26th. I know that there is a Tennessee-Auburn basketball game. Guess what else there is right here in town on February 26th? Nashville Preds making history, hosting the 2022 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series as a part of the first ever NHL outdoor game right here in Tennessee. You want to be a part of this, right? You have to be a part of this. Next Saturday, the Preds will head to Nissan Stadium, take on the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning outside. Ice is laid. Saw them trekking it in the other day. It is the opportunity of a lifetime, and you can be there live and in person, and tickets are still available. They're going fast though, so jump in now. They even have NHL Stadium Series jerseys that you can buy, which I love. Great gift idea. Don't pass up this opportunity. Jump in the Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series with the Nashville Preds versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's next Saturday, February 26th, Nissan Stadium. Go get your tickets. Show everybody what Smashville is all about.
There it is. Cool Modi. These are the messages I get from my 11-year-old. Hey, Dad, what uniform are we wearing tonight? So I tell him. And he goes, okay, bet.
Hey, he just he let you know he got it. That's all that means.
You use that now too. Is that you
Always
get that
did.
from your
Like
kids?
we all said that in the 90s, and then kids come around say it again now, thinking they're creating something.
Wait, is that a 90s thing?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Were you saying bet when you were rolling around Pearl-Cohn?
I don't know.
Or at Tennessee?
Probably Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Because I'm older than you.
I know I was saying, all right.
All right, bet.
Oh,
That's what
like
we used to
Nick
say. All
Saban?
right, bet.
All right. Q Cash, Quantic Cash. They're famous.
By the way, did you guys see what our producer sent us?
What? Something good?
Did you send us something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm nervous now.
Did you bring us snacks?
What the honk saying?
I'm nervous. Can't
Why
remember
are you
everything
nervous?
because I can't remember everything I've sent you guys today.
Oh, no. It was college football, little Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, they locked him in.
Ridiculousness.
They locked him in.
5-year extension.
I
Good for
mean,
him.
come on.
Michigan's
I
just
promise
like,
I won't
man.
look for an NFL job next year.
Well, he won't now because he embarrassed himself
Yeah.
by acting like going on National Signing Day to interview, thinking he had the job locked up and it was his.
It had to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
9-hour
You
interview.
just would have been a little cooler
all you had
about
to do.
it, then this
All
wouldn't
you had
be
to do.
such a give
seriously,
me a break moment.
What did Harbaugh have to do during that interview to not get that job? It sounded like it was locked up, right? Like, what happened?
That's a great point.
He have too much starts in those khakis?
Said he didn't like Prince. So who's your favorite artist? I think Prince.
That'll get him out of there.
He's
Yeah, that's
He ain't
fight
play
words
like
in
that
Minnesota, baby.
Yeah,
That
he ain't gonna
Purple
play like
Rain
that.
song is horrible.
Yeah. Purple Rain. Anybody could have written that.
Extension through 2026.
That's tough.
Oh, man.
tough.
Harbaugh. That's the guy. Slay found this the other day. This is really funny. Dan Marino tweeted, "Don't be discouraged, Joe Burrow. I also came up short in the Super Bowl in my second year. You have the rest of your career to never make it back."
That's what we were thinking about.
But did you see what Jim Kelly told him?
Jim Kelly wrote, "Exactly, Joe. I also lost my first Super Bowl, but the next year we made it again. We lost that one too, but we made it again the very next season. We also lost that one, but then a season later we were there again. Actually, how do I delete this?"
Hey, dude.
Hey,
You gotta
man.
love them making fun of themselves, man.
Listen, man, quarterback humor is out there, baby.
And it's
I
so
love
good.
I love it.
Quarterback humor, man.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
So what did you see from a basketball analyst perspective from Jonas Adu last night?
Man.
Again, he only played 15 total minutes in the first 22 games of the season.
Yeah.
Kamwa goes down. He's earning more minutes. So 18 last night, 5.7 boards, 3 blocks against what may be the National Player of the Year.
Yeah, and to his credit, man, I think, well, to the staff's credit, a couple of games ago, I think they were talking about redshirt, and they do. So, he got thrown on out there in the
life
foul.
comes at you fast.
Yeah, you got to be ready to roll. But he does a great job using his length, man, and being able to protect the rim. Like you got to know who you are. Like be able to block shots. You got to have timing, man. You got to be able to do it without fouling. It's a lot that goes into shot blockers, and this
He
one
wasn't
here,
leaving his feet either.
No, he's long.
Yeah.
Very long. And then another thing that's going to be able to come out later is the man got touched. Like, I don't know if you guys remember about 2 games ago, he got in. I can't think who they were playing. And as soon as he got in, they gave him the ball at the trailer spot, the trailer being at the top of the key, but one step in front of the top of the key. He shot the ball immediately, and it made it. And backpedal like, yeah, I do this too. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen him do it again yet. I guess he hadn't had that opportunity. Yeah. So it's interesting to see how his game develops and who else, like you getting plenty of opportunities. And this goes back to after the LSU situation when Coach Barnes was getting on to Fulkerson and then the fans were riding him and saying that, hey, man, you can't talk to him. And that's when I came in and talked to Babs about it. Like we had him on last year and Fulkerson's like, hey, I can handle that. You know what I'm saying? If you have a different relationship with your guys, then I think it's understood. You got to realize they got 7 freshmen. Look at the people we talking about, man. You talking about Adu. You talking about Meshack coming in giving an impact. You talking about Kennedy Chandler. You talking about Zakai Ziegler. Like, these are freshmen. The last time freshmen have been able to get out there like that on a team at Tennessee was my year in 99, 2000. That was it.
There was some reclassification going on, too. Like, should be still in high school.
Yeah, and this one, these guys, like Ziegler should still be in high school.
That's right.
Huntley Hatfield should be in high school.
Right.
That's the fifth freshman that's playing. So, hey, man, it's wild, man. And then you got to tip your hat off to a guy like Fulkerson, a guy like Josiah Jordan-James, a guy like Santi for being able to bring those guys along. And when you look at it, a team like Tennessee playing at this rate right here and playing so many players, the problem, I think, for Coach Barnes, by the time they get to the tournament, these guys focus on defense and go so hard, they are tired by the time they get to it. You know, you kind of run them in the ground just a little bit, you know, but, of course, they're young adults and they can run all day. But at some point, they can catch up with you. Being able to play 9 people effectively, hey, man, that's different, man. That's different.
So
that's different. So, especially in a format the way the tournament is, you playing each day, you know what I'm saying?
Every 2 days.
It can wear on you.
Oh, yeah, the conference tournament. Yep.
Yeah, conference tournament. Then on the NCAA tournament every other day. So, and that's high energy intense, too.
I've talked to coaches that don't really even care about that.
Yeah. And
the conference tournament.
No, because, man.
Unless there's seeding involved, especially baseball.
Dude, you win that conference tournament. You riding such a high. You go into there and you playing against somebody else that not expected to win. Boom.
But some teams lose in that first day.
Yep.
And then rest.
We did it all the time.
For a week.
That's good, but we did. Like,
dude's long and he doesn't have to leave the floor. He's long and he's strong.
A guy. Yeah, he's a guy, man. That anytime you can protect him, anytime you get a rim protector, which they've been missing too. Yep. You know, they've been having paint protectors, but a rim protector and paint protector, 2 different things, man. 2 different things. So,
well, you were both.
I was solid. I'm gonna score that thing. I am gonna score that thing. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna take on. Man, that's a good environment, man. I don't know if it's. I'm gonna be real. Thompson Bowling, Bud Walton, the Swamp,
Arkansas, Florida,
the Jungle. Now it's just Auburn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Rupp props because of the history and the stigma there. But outside it, like
there is nothing
really,
special about Rupp.
I'm gonna be real. Besides the banners hanging up, put me in there. Let me go play there. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
What I've heard is
they pump artificial noise in there. That's what you should have heard.
What I've heard is that there are a lot of octogenarians, maybe. I didn't want to say older people.
No, that's what it is. That's it.
And it's a massive arena.
It is huge.
So you went octogenarians?
Older people.
I was about to have to Google that.
Who hit the 7-syllable word the other day? I was trying to get there.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
Craig Cosell.
Maybe it was
Cosell.
Yeah.
It was Cosell. All right, we've got Derek Dooley news.
What?
That we'll share with you in just a second. But
what are you doing?
From John Bryce, footballscoop.com. But first, Miss Johnson has called back.
Oh. Well, hello there, Miss Johnson. How goes that?
Well, hello. It's about time. I've been on hold for 15 minutes.
We gonna cut you some slack, Miss Johnson.
Her.
You can't snipe her.
Yesterday, a guy complained that he was on hold for 34 minutes.
No. I'm a big girl. You ain't got to cut me no slack. I'm a big girl. I brought it when we kicked your butt for, by 30 in Rupp, and I'm here. I hit you up on Facebook last night,
yes, you
Ron
did.
Slay, so don't even go there. I hit you up on Facebook, and I said, touche, mic drop, hashtag BBN. So don't even go there with me. You got the right one.
But
don't even go there with me today.
Guess what? I needed you to call in so the people will hear it, though. That's all I was asking
for. Well, I've been trying. I called 3 times. Y'all put me on hold 3 times. The last time I called back, I said, I am on my way to work. I will be at work in just a few minutes. I will hang this phone up because I have got to clock in. That's exactly what I said. So I was nice to hold on. I'm a 3HL fan.
Yes, you
but
are.
You can bet I won't be calling in, being put on hold for 15 minutes no more.
Miss Johnson, we putting you right through. We're going to give you the direct line number.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Don't you
You
worry.
get the hotline.
I don't want no special treatment. I don't want no special treatment.
That's right. Because we didn't give y'all none last night
Dawn
either.
wasn't there. Dawn wasn't there when I called in last time. She was on vacation.
I was. I missed it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I appreciate that.
You guys should have been
I called in.
messaging each other during the game. That would have been good.
No, you know what I mean? Because I like to let people.
I was actually at work, so I had to keep dipping in. So I only got to see the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But once I saw the score, I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
But it's hard for us to play in Thompson Bowling Arena.
Yeah.
I know the history.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it was going to be a rough night. I didn't know it was going to be that rough, but I knew it was going to be a rough night. So, anyway.
Maybe they'll get together in Tampa. Yeah.
I ain't scared, that's for sure. So I did call you.
I appreciate it.
When I logged on, because I was at work and I logged on and I was like, I know he didn't just call me out.
Yeah, I did. I added her on Facebook.
Okay.
I added her on
Okay,
Facebook.
you called me out on Facebook. I was like, okay. So I dialed the number right away. I was like, you don't even know me like that, but it's okay.
I love you, though. I love you. It's all love. You have a good day at
It's
work.
It's all good. Holla! I
holla! Hey, man.
She's the best.
I love it. I love it. But see, that's what it's about
She's
right
like,
there.
hashtag BB.
Yeah.
That's what you were
She
talking
around
about.
with 'em.
Good trash talk.
Yeah, man.
A
You know
back
what I mean?
and forth.
Yeah, that's cool.
Take it.
Yeah, you know, it's all good. But let me tell you something
Hey,
about that win.
I'm
Go.
going to call you out a little bit, though.
What, Babs?
Because you said earlier, you were like, well, I haven't heard from Miss Johnson, but she wrote you on Facebook.
No, I wrote her.
Before she wrote you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, last night she did write me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she did write me.
You left
she
that
did.
part
yeah,
out.
I did. She
So
wrote
she
me.
wasn't totally dodging.
No, she wasn't dodging me at all. I just wanted her to come on so that everybody can hear on the air. You know what I mean, on the airwaves. But you know what? That game last night to the Kentucky fans, it's a big time game, man. But you know the respect is there when the number 5 team comes in your house and you beat them and nobody rushes the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a respect that the players went to the stands.
In the stand.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, because honestly, man, like, we expect to beat y'all. It ain't like, you know what I mean? And I know y'all, like Coach Barnes said, they expect to beat us when we come to Rupp. We expect to beat them every time when we come to Thompson Bowling.
That's the beauty of the Tennessee-Kentucky basketball series, though, because not a lot of programs expect to win against Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Tennessee's won 10 of the last 19. They won. She's right. Miss Johnson's right. Tennessee's won 5 of the last 7 in Knoxville. Rick Barnes is 9-7 against Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody sent us a message yesterday or called in, I can't remember, about North Carolina. North Carolina's got Kentucky. Kentucky's up 11-7 in the last 18.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, we
now, if you want to give me Duke, you can give me Duke. Duke's 9-2 in the last 11 against Kentucky.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, Kentucky's got everybody's number.
And
for good reason. It's an unbelievable program.
Supposed to be. Like,
35 players currently in the NBA. That's what Coach Cal said on Billions. He was on Billions on Sunday.
That's cold, man. That's what it's about, dog. But they asking, like, fans asking, and I don't know if they SEC fans or what, but why was this win so big for the players? And they were talking, man, they just got slaughtered a month ago, and this was all they heard.
And had to hear
Yeah, I mean, over and over,
over.
regardless of running off 7 straight, that kept coming up. So you couldn't wait to get this opportunity. That's why I was big like that, man. So, man, salute to them. You know what I mean? Salute to them. Salute to them. No question about it. Now we got to see what else is going on come Arkansas. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, it would be a natural letdown situation, right?
Hey, listen, I said on the sleigh ride, I said if they win this game against Kentucky, I do expect them to lose Saturday. And I hate to say that. But they're going to show, boy, I'm telling you, they're going to, see, and that's what I'm saying. I got to be a realist too. But they're going to show me something, boy, if they go up there and handle business at Arkansas, because that ain't going to be no easy game either.
Right, because you almost expect Tennessee offensively to get cold again at some point because It's such a cyclical thing.
Can
they stay hot for another month?
I don't think it's that. I think you become the 100. I think you just become the 100. You know what I mean?
Like you're tied for second. Now.
Yeah, man. Like they looking up. Like, do you know what a victory for them? They done beat Auburn, and then they beat Tennessee, who beat Kentucky. Like, man, and they in the SEC.
Vanderbilt going to get Auburn tonight?
No. Listen, y'all. Okay.
It's only a 13-point line. I thought, it's up to 14. I thought that would be higher than
17.
that.
Might get to 17. I do think Vandy, because I hate to keep saying this because this is like
but they are better.
A pat on the back win. Man, this is going to be a tight game.
You think it'll be a tight game?
I think if Vandy can keep it below 10, I think that's a win for them. But it's lost.
Right.
You know, so I hate to say that. You know what I mean? They don't want that. Yeah, they don't want that. Like,
that's
you know
what
I'm
Vandy
saying?
fan is. Cover.
Yeah, and that's bad, man.
But I mean, Auburn's that good. Yeah.
Auburn is good, but that's what I'm saying.
There's nothing wrong with keeping it close with Auburn, even if you lose.
Man, them people good, man. Them people are good. So, and everybody have an off night. We just hope it's against Tennessee.
615-737-1045. Cincinnati, the Bengals rode in on buses to Paul Brown Stadium, and they had thousands of Bengals fans there.
How'd they get them to come back without going on vacation?
Yeah, I don't know. You mean just totally leave from L.A.?
Yeah, that's like, dude, this ain't in the contract.
You got to come back with the team unless you're Urban Meyer.
They probably been back. They've been back. The game was Sunday.
Well, they probably didn't plan anything because what they planned was to have a victory parade.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. So they didn't plan on going straight on vacation from the Super Bowl because they planned on coming back and riding in their victory parade. Instead, they're riding in their AFC victory parade.
J. Martin Ramon had a great discussion about this this morning. Should they celebrate?
Ramon was passionate.
Yeah.
The AFC Championship, losing the Super Bowl. 615-737-1045.
Alexa, clean my carpets. Guess what? You know what she'll do?
Do you know what you just did to people?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, Alexa's going off. And you know what she's going off saying? She's saying call Zero Res. Zero Res is who you need to call to get that done. Zero Res carpet and air duct cleaning. Insanely clean carpets. No one can clean like Zero Res because only Zero Res cleans with powered water. There's no soap. There's no residue. There's no harsh chemicals, which means there's no lingering soap that attracts dirt. There you go. And you also know it's safe for your family because there's no gross chemicals there. Family and pets, no problem at all. It's a new year. It's a new year for you. How are those New Year's resolutions going now that we're well into February? Maybe one of them was keeping your house clean and cleaning your carpets. And here you go. Zero Res is who you need to call. They've got a deal going on. Tell them Dawn sent you. You heard about them right here. Or you can tell them Alexa told you about them. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, plus a free room of carpet protector to help repel the allergens for $119, $50 off of air duct cleaning. Some restrictions may apply, but call them now to schedule. 615-535-9376. ZeroResNashville.com online. That's 615-535-9376.
What up, people? You know it is. It's me, Ron Slade. Got to tell you about these good old wings of mine, you know, and they not just right mine, but they something like mine. And you can go get them. The sweet and sassy lemon pepper mix right there. And then the Cajun ranch fries. The Cajun French. You know what? That might be something new. French fries and ranch put together with the Cajun on it, with the drizzle, with the cheese on top. Still Ike out the wings, 2521 Nolensville Pike, right off 440, or at 123 Ewing Drive in the original Princess location. 69-cent wings on Tuesday. You missed that yesterday, but you can still go in there and get to them. Plenty of TVs, so March Madness is coming up. I promise you. And the SEC tournament. A lot of tournaments. So you want to get in there and lock in, get some good food. And at the Nolensville location, man, you can go in there and get some good drinks. You know what I'm saying? Not only that famous Kool-Aid, but Kool-Aid Rita, or you can get some brews, or you can get a nice little, shot of something special. Just take my word for it. But the place you got to go to is Ike out the wings.
Just saw the world famous Ernie Allen walk through here. You know, there's some people in this COVID thing that you have a relationship with and you see all the time. And then COVID hit. I hadn't seen that guy in almost 2 years.
Really?
And he just walks by. I'm like, have you met Slay Ernie? He's like, no. And so y'all meet. And then I said, man, it's good to see you. And he goes, it's good to be seen.
Yeah, he walked off. Make you think about that.
Oh,
think about that, young fella. That's what he really said.
Damn COVID. Tennessee schedule at Arkansas, at Missouri, Auburn at home, at Georgia, Arkansas at home. 2 games against Arkansas and Auburn coming up.
I like the barometer. Here it is.
You got to stay in that top 4, get that double bye though.
It'll be beautiful. You know what I mean? But it's not a lot of pressure. This will be good for these young guys though to be able to put that championship up. It ain't nothing. It's no feeling like that.
Fun place to play too.
Yeah. Well, Tampa.
No, I'm talking about at Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
But well,
the question is, do you think Auburn slips any?
No.
I really don't. I mean, they'll probably have like the Auburn-Tennessee game, honestly, is a 50-50 game, I would say.
Outside of that.
In Knoxville.
Wow. I'm just not looking at their schedule.
It's easy.
It's kind of cake on the way out. Yeah.
And the ones that could be hard is at home. Like Ole Miss they can throw them junk defenses at them, but
they'll win.
They're going to win. It's at Auburn.
They're going to beat Vanderbilt.
They're going to spank Florida.
By the way, Mike White's about to get fired, man.
Man, that's tough on
Talking
Mike
people
White,
down there.
That's tough. Yeah, South Carolina, they're going to win that. Mississippi State, at Mississippi State. Depending on what Mississippi State do these next 2 or 3 games when they have to see Mississippi State. I
asked you the question earlier.
I'm a fan of Ben Howland.
I asked you the question earlier. Which out of that next group could maybe get hot and throw a wrench into some plans in March? You know, Alabama, LSU, they both won 2 in a row. Mississippi State's lost 5 out of 6, but you like them maybe as a team that could get hot.
I do, man. And it was Texas A&M, but it's Mississippi State to me. Mississippi State. Mississippi State, LSU, just because somehow they find a way. And with Xavier Pinson coming back, they play much better with him getting more healthy and getting back in the rhythm of things. And then they got a guy that can take over a game in Tyree Eason. So he's a dog. He may be gone too. But Alabama plays better against competition to the league.
League, okay.
Yeah, he about 6'7", 6'8", and do it all. Like
6'8".
Yeah. So, but Alabama is a team that plays up to competition. They play better, honestly, with their back against the wall, and they still got to see who
they got schedule. Yeah.
Yep. They got a tough one. They go to UK.
Yeah.
They'll win at Vandy. They play Mississippi State tonight at home. See, those are the games that they could lose. Then they got South Carolina at home, they'll win. Got A&M at home, they'll win. And they finish going to LSU. So they could easily lose 3, but they could easily go 4-2 also. 4-2 will put them at 10-8.
So is LSU kind of your next team?
I think LSU.
You think LSU is it?
And I hate to say that.
16-9 or wait, 18-7.
Yeah.
You can take Will Wade somewhere.
Yeah. And
we'll talk about Will Wade tomorrow.
We're going to see. Yeah.
We will.
Merle Code will join us at 3:20.
They better win tonight. They're going to probably spank Georgia.
Hey, real quick, Babs. Want to get your take on this.
Merle Code.
So, J. Martin Ramon had a great discussion about this. Cincinnati fans celebrating their team after a Super Bowl loss. Good with it? Not good with it.
Ramon basically went on that's participation trophy level crap right there.
Like you don't celebrate unless you win the whole thing.
Right. And you guys know me. I am like anti-participation
Me too.
trophy. Like
second place trophies in travel baseball go somewhere else.
We don't do it. Right. I hate it.
Unless we're like in Pigeon Forge and there's, 18 teams from all over the country and we finish that. Something like that.
Right.
Which we did and we won it, but that's okay.
Yeah. By the way, Baby Babs did her first pageant this weekend. She did not win the whole thing, but she still got a crown.
I know. You said
what mama do with that crown?
She said she got a crown. Wait, congratulations.
I sent the boys a pic and they were like, congrats. And I'm like, why? She didn't win.
Yeah, but we didn't know. You said she got a
I know
crown.
you didn't know because she got a crown, because that is our society. Everybody gets a crown. Here's your crown and banner. Here you go. Everybody gets it. Although I will say I was kind of glad she got one because she's a Kentucky one-and-doner for pageants. So that was Grandma's doing right there.
Yeah, right. Next time she's at Grandma's house, she's going to be in a pageant.
Yes.
But I think it's a topic that's viewed differently by athletes and coaches and by fans. Because fans want to celebrate the journey and their guys.
Well, and I didn't have an issue with it because what did I tell you? The last playoff game the Bengals had won was 1990. Let them have their parade and celebrate for winning the AFC, which is tough. And getting to play in the Super Bowl, I have no issue with it. The reason Ramon had such an issue with it is because he's a freaking Pittsburgh Steeler through and through. That's where it comes from.
Well, I was rolling in 1990.
Slay was 9.
I was rolling.
Slay was probably like 5'8".
Yeah.
5'8".
I was a ball boy.
I mean,
TSU too.
Listen, if Tennessee goes to a Final Four and loses, I'll be celebrating at Thompson Bowl.
That's different.
That's the way it is. I think every situation is different.
The Titans fans did that.
Titans had a parade.
They had a parade. They didn't win the Super Bowl.
I heard that.
Slay, you okay with that? Would you have gone?
For the Titans that year?
Yeah.
That year, yeah.
I think the Titans had more fans at that parade than the Rams had today in L.A.
Probably.
Yeah, they got something to do.
Did they have more fans than Matt Stafford drank tequila?
What's next, Hunk?
That would be the after party.
All right, let's get to it.
After the show.
Celebrate accordingly. We'll be back at it tomorrow later.